he learnt in his first couple of days into these first couple of sessions.
Hanson will line up. Oh, he might have pushed it. Yeah, he's actually pushed it to the right. Didn't get enough on it. So not getting true bang for their buck, and this will could be biting him on the backside eventually. 2-4-16 to 1 straight 6. Hope you're enjoying the action here at Claremont Oval. And it'll be Martinez. In fact, no, it won't be. It will be Carter who'll run it out. He kicks it long, but it might become a straight back. There's Bogno who's taken it. He's got it straight off. It might be Brayshaw. Quick kick into the pocket. Not so sure about the direction of it. Front and centre. There's Nitsky. Give it. Hug's already kicked one with the outside of the right boot. He's done it again, has he? I think he has. He's kicked 2 from the same spot, Kieran Hug, and they go and give him plenty of hugs. What a great response. It was a quick entry. Quick hands, Nitsky. And West Coast Waffle are 3 goals for 22. Claremont are 1 straight 6, and there's a lot to like about today's effort. Fantastic.
And you have a couple of set shots on goal, reasonably kickable, gettable shots.
100%.
And then Kieran Hug, he's just nails 2 that are very, very more difficult, I guess.
Well, they're 3-4, and to be brutally honest with you, they should be 5-2 minimum.
Well, I think we're even a point behind, so I think it's 3-5. So we're out to a 17-point lead. I think it's 3-5 to a goal now. And again, the pressure has been consistent through this quarter in that forward half of the ground. Nitschke's laid a couple of good tackles. Hug has got some reward, but he's also done some good defensive efforts. So across the board, there's a lot to like with how the Eagles Waffle team are playing early on, Goss.
Yeah, 1 point to True. Just mark this down. 1 point to True, 1 to Deegan, 2 rushed. So it is, I'm pretty sure we've got the score right, and the Waffle have made the Waffle scoreline might be wrong. I'm not exactly sure because they've got 3-5, we've got 3-4. Our graphics tell us 3-4, and the head-to-head goal kicking and points kicking certainly shows only 4 points. So we'll go with our score at the moment, but we'll take that point if it's close at the end of the game.
Might have been the Ethan Hughes point, I think, that they made.
There you go.
Ethan Hanson, sorry.
Ethan Hanson, yep, absolutely. Hey, it's been 1 down by the Tigers of the East, and well done, Cam Palmer, doing a great job in stats and fixing everyone's mistakes. There's the quick kick to half forward, and now it's coming out. I think it might have been working hard out of there. It was Ty Sears on the wing. Gee, the spirit's up and about. Is that him again? Is that the man? Is that Connor West underneath that pack laying a hard tackle? I think it is. Get him in the top team now, I say. Get him to Sydney. What about the start? We'll check his stats in a moment. Again, including his tackles, which have been exceptional. Again, trying to shut down the Claremont. Limmer's involved. They get it to the wing. Long down, inside 50. Big fly. This is where they look a little bit shaky down back here, the West Coast Eagles. Under pressure, Sumich. Great tackle again. Now it's coming out, taken by Hardesty, one of the Claremont captains. He's kicked it wide. It's a skill error. That's not deliberate and cannot possibly have been paid. In fact, it hasn't actually gone out. And here they come again. Taken here, I think it's by Pat Moore. Pat Moore's quick kick. And he has kicked the goal. So again, a little bit shaky down back the West Coast Eagles. I think it's Pat Moore who's kicked it.
And Callum England, ex-Eagle listed.
Is it Callum England, is it?
It is.
Oh, okay, absolutely. We're a long way from the action. Here it is here.
Just able to break the tackle. Sort of threw it onto the right foot around the body, and he has been another one who's kicked goals in every game for Claremont so far this year, and he's added the 2nd goal for Claremont today.
Yeah, Callum England coming off that far side of the ground. So again, rare entries here for Claremont, but at the end of the day, they are getting the results, of course. So a little shaky down back at the moment, the West Coast Eagles have got to shore that up. The forward line, as we say, they've got to keep connecting with the scoreboard and taking every opportunity they can, but still a promising start, a much better start for the Eagles. 3-5-23, we've done that. Gee, Cam Palmer, you could do everything. And 2 straight Claremont, margin back to 11 points. We've gone 23 minutes.
Conway started on the outside, now it's gone to the inside up against Jai Bolton, arguably the best Waffle midfielder, so that's going to be a good test for young Connor.
All right, now through the middle of the ground.
Here it again, just around the pack, just around the ball. That Connor West, he's had 10 possessions, 3 tackles, and we're still only gone 23 minutes in the first quarter.
There's the kick, top of the square. Under pressure, they get through. It might be Manuel. He likes it. Quick response, and all of a sudden, Claremont are back in the contest. 23 plays 18, and the West Coast Eagles are still leading by 5, but 3 straight for Claremont, and that is a very impressive couple of inside 50 entries to the Tigers.
Yeah, it's a disappointing thing for the Eagles waffle team when they've worked so hard for the majority of this first quarter, have had to battle for entries, have to battle for scores, and then Claremont get a couple of open inside forward 50 entries. Probably a couple of little lucky bounces, it must be said as well, but both England and then that time Manuel, they were able to capitalise and kick goals each. Manuel, another one who actually leads Claremont in goals this year. He had 23 going into today, so that was goal number 24 for Manuel today.
Now, we're led to believe, we just received word that our live stream is not live streaming, unfortunately, but we are working on the technical issue as we speak. We are calling the game as we see fit. It will be posted, the whole game, on our page, the West Coast Eagles page. So for what it's worth, if anyone is watching on any other form of social media or any other media, we do apologise. It's out of our hands. We're just calling the game as what we see. The ball is now with Bolton. It's on YouTube. Not that if you're watching it on YouTube, that's great, but if you're trying to watch it on Facebook. So if anyone is at the West Coast Eagles who is down the Jared Gardner or anyone else who's watching on got any information, want to put that up on our Facebook post to let our followers know that it is on YouTube, as Manuel will line up for his second goal in as many minutes. And a goal here, disappointingly, will put Claremont in front.
Well, get the message across to Simo to get on YouTube as well, because he needs to be checking out Connor West, the way Connor West is going.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I can assure you we've been inundated with people wanting to know where the live stream is. We can't do any more than keep calling it. We can't pedal, we can't push buttons, we can only commentate. So I hope you're watching on YouTube, great. And if you're waiting for it, the live stream, our technical team is working on that. But these gremlins happen. There's the long kick. That's a strong kick. And Claremont, in the blink of an eye, with Manuel's second goal, has put the Tigers in front. They're 4 straight 24. Equals a 3-5-23. And the class is starting to rise to the top. Claremont have taken the lead in the shade and shadows of quarter time.
And you've noticed that Bolton's gone in the middle. He's had a couple of the clearances in this little passage of play, and probably a couple of those prime Claremont midfielders that have had a bit more of an impact. And Manuel up forward, as we said, he was the leading Claremont goal kicker this year going in, and now 2 goals today. He has a career best 4, which happened back in round 1 of this year.
Tim Gossage and Cam Palmer with you.
Some of the other stats for the Eagles waffle team: Joey Deegan is up to 5 possessions. Hunt has had 5 and has kicked the 2 goals. And for Claremont, Bolton now leads them with 8. Bailey Rogers has had 6, 4 kicks and 2 handballs. 26.5 minutes gone. The play did stop for about 90 seconds, and we had to fish a ball out of someone's front yard. Ball back on the wing. Garlett throws the tackle in. Lim, little kick out the corner. It goes through the legs of Bolton. Fishing for the football. I think it's Pat Moore. It's now come out. The West Coast Eagles through True. Hasn't had the huge start to the game. Did have a set shot. That's a good kick. Gets it now. Here's Hutchings at centre-half forward. Has he spotted up a man inside the pocket? Almost being held. No free kick. Trying to get a free kick under enormous pressure. Eventually the ball goes over. I think Brayshaw was the one there. Oh, the little fend-off was nice by 3-time Simpson medalist in Jai Bolton and Sandover medalist. The bounce of the ball comes back into the middle. Back feeds a handpass, sold his teammate into terrible trouble. It wasn't the best of handballs. The handball came from Jack Carey, and eventually I think it's Ben Johnson who's been given the free. Yeah, Johnson a little bit quiet early on as well. That's probably a good sign, because the ball did live in the Eagles forward 50 for much of the first quarter. Bentley to Sumich inside 50. What a diving mark, and a beautiful mark. He landed on his shoulder. And the West Coast Eagles, and it's Hamish Brayshaw, hammer time with his right knee heavily strapped. He was walking around with a compression bandage on it all week, but this will be a captain's goal in the shadows again of quarter time. Can he put West Coast in front? You'll probably hear about that one on Coast to Coast. You'll say that's the best slip catch that we've seen all season from Hamish. But he's had the 2 inside 50s, and now going to have a shot, linking the play up inside 50 from that midfield is Hamish. If you've just tuned in, we have had some technical problems on Facebook, but it's been a wonderful start with the West Coast Eagles. Oh, that's terrible. That is terrible by Hammer Brayshaw, and he'll be very disappointed with it. Okay, yeah, so we've had a few tech issues, but I'm led to believe it's up and running. So thanks for your patience. If you want to go back, you can see it. The whole game will be posted on Facebook. And I can tell you that Connor West has had a blazing start for the West Coast Eagles. You'd love what you're seeing. We do apologise, but these technical things happen in this modern world. We're trying to live stream this game. Here's Rogers, all tied up. That scoreline is 4 straight Claremont, 3-6 West Coast. Hand pass through traffic. Good run from behind, taken by Humble. He threw it on the boot, up and under. Just lands in the hands of the Tigers, and they'll work it out. Mountford comes into the middle of the ground. Here's Eastland. Yeah, it was a good effort over the other side by Ty Sears, another one of the young Eagles players that had a little bit of an impact earlier off half-back.
Mitchell Kane kicks it long down the line. He's running up, wants the little 1-2, doesn't get it. And the mark's been taken by England, who's already kicked a goal in this game. He decides to take the option of going in through the corridor. 29 gone. Martinez has been busy, but predominantly in the back half. Good lead up. Clement just travels the required distance, and I mean just travels the required distance. Plays on. This is Isaac Barton, a little cheeky. Kick got smothered down, I thought, but no, according to the umpire, wasn't touched. And going back and lining up for goal will be Jack Buller in the pocket. Any score will put Claremont in front.
So Buller, again, one of the unlikely trio who've combined to kick 50 goals for Claremont across the year. So if you look, Manuel, Buller and England together have combined for 50 goals. They've been an unlikely trio, but they've been consistently hitting the scoreboard in recent weeks.
Here he is. He kicks around the corner. Buller, it's another one. Claremont are 5 straight, and they are cashing in on their forward 50 entries. Our back line, the West Coast Eagles back line, under pressure. It is 5 straight 30 to 4-6 24. That's right, 5 straight to 4-6. Cam Palmer, Tim Gossage with you. If you just tuned in on the Facebook, we do apologise for the technical issues that we've had, but the team has been working hard. Don't shoot the messenger. But can we go through Connor West's stats? He's had a number of tackles. He's had plenty of the footy, and also young William Collins down back, and Zane Sumich, who's making his debut for the Eagles.
Yeah, so Connor West is still sitting on the 10 disposals. Has had the 3 tackles. In terms of all comers, Jai Bolton up to 11. He's been real workmanlike in the last little while. Flicking through, Sumich has had the 3 possessions now, 2 kicks, 1 handball, and Collins has had the 2 tackles to go with 2 kicks and a couple of really good smothers and spoils as well.
So it was the Eagles early. We've ticked up almost 31 minutes, but this is a very good start from the West Coast Eagles waffle team. Vardy there. The siren sounds, I think it does, or is it coming back? No, it's going to be a free kick off the ball, and it's actually going to West. And
your man again, Goss.
Yeah, I didn't think Connor even knew that he'd got the free kick. But here he is, being held off the ball, according to the umpire. He's allowed to play on. He'll kick it long. Closing seconds of the quarter. Up for big mark, not taken there. Coming through the hands. There's a loose ball. He's taking the hand pass. Hutchings, good. Here's Nitschke. He shimmies and shakes and gets it back. Where's Kieran Hugg? He's kicked 2 goals from this pocket so far. Kick around the corner. It's gone narrow, minor score. It wasn't Kieran Hugg, but it doesn't really matter who it was. We know that it's another miss. 4-7, 25 to 5 straight. That's 11 scoring shots to 5, yet they trail on the board. They've had plenty of chances.
Yeah, it was Hugg setting it up, though, as well. He's been very lively inside 50.
Siren sounds, first quarter, entertaining to say the least. And one thing you can be guaranteed, West Coast fans, is this team is cracking in today, and that's all you want from Daniel Pratt. There's only a couple of listed AFL players, but at the moment, it's the West Coast Eagles. They are 4-7. 3-7, 25 to 5 straight 30. Thanks to Hungry Jacks. We'll come back. We'll give you a full look at all the stats, the leading goal kickers. We hope you're enjoying the action. We apologise for the delay to our Facebook fans, but things look like they're on the mend. This is the West Coast Eagles live stream, courtesy of Hungry Jacks.
Career and journey is glamorous and rock and roll, and you play every single game. And
to come out here and play a professional sport in a different country is kind of what you dream of.
I think from my perspective, it's always been a battle. Sometimes I do win and I get into the AFL team, and sometimes I don't.
We always did the same kind of things growing up.
Fights are behind closed doors.
Arena is standing with the 3 signs prior to the commencement of the match. each quarter to avoid any collision with the plate. A couple of club notices today. The Tiger Bar is open all day, so head in there and get a drink. The stand and coffee kiosk is open, and the Red Rooster Band at the main gate. Thank you. The game day raffle has been drawn, and the winning ticket today is number 1981. So if you have the raffle ticket 1981, congratulations, you've won. Head to the main bar to collect your prize.
Welcome back to Revo Fitness Stadium, and it is 5 straight Claremont. West Coast 3-7, 25, 2 to Hug, 1 to Pornich. Manuel's kicked 2 for the Tigers. Buller, Edwards and England. Cam Palmer has our leading stats, and big focus on Connor West on debut for West Coast Waffle.
Yeah, Connor West with 11 leads all comers alongside Jai Bolton from Claremont, who also has 11. Bailey Rogers, 9. Martinez, 8 for Claremont. Joey Deegan and Mark Hutchings, 7 each for the Eagles Waffle. And if you look at the team stats, they look like Eagles Waffle 74 disposals to Claremont 94. Inside 50s is probably the key stat. The Eagles lead at 12-6, but Claremont have just been ruthless inside forward 50.
Yep, so 6 times in for 5 goals.
And one of the notes I had here pre-game is that Claremont's goal accuracy 59%. They're one of the best in the league. 5 straight in the first quarter. They're certainly kicking it well when they're having those chances on goal.
Cam Palmer, Tim Gossage with you. Second quarter action about to get underway. Not the best of bounces, should be recalled, and is.
And this will be a good one for Connor West fans out there. So Claremont are going to like to see the back of him. If we go back a few weeks ago, playing for West Perth, he had a career-high 35 possessions against him.
At this ground, it was a pretty physical contest, and that's what he loves. He relishes that opportunity. And in the end, Clermont overran West Perth. And at the moment, they're using the ball well. There's a hand pass again from Bolton. They come out wide to the wing, taken forward. And that's a very good mark. Sliding in to take the mark, Jalen McGee, of course, who started his waffle career with the Tigers.
And he's looked really good down back, reasonably composed early on, Jalen McGee.
Shows a lot of the footy to his to True. They get it now through the middle of the ground. Here is West. He just got so much time. Kicks inside 50. Coming to there's Garlett. This is what he's good at. Nice spin move. He went one way, then the other. Threw it on the right boot. Kicks inside 50 and they've got it. And the mark's been taken by Brayshaw, who's missed a pud in the first quarter. And the skipper's lining up for his first. And boy, oh boy, what about the tricks of young Jared Garlett? Of course, well, actually not so young now. He's been around a little while through his journey through Carlton and the Gold Coast and up through Railways in the north. That was beautiful football, and this is the 5th disposal for Hammer Brayshaw, the skipper.
And Bob Nugno, worth noting him, just made the contest there that actually got it to ground level where Garlett was able to do his thing. Good effort from Bob Nugno as well.
Here's baggy pants Brayshaw. Again, he's kicked it shy and short. Vardy, where all big men should be. Borogno is there. Here it's him in the beard. Got his Will Schofield going on, and we'll have another ball in. I think he's been called out of this ruck contest. I think it's going to be Eastland and Vardy.
It's been a good contest between Eastland and Varland. Eastland's had the 10 hit-outs, Vardy the 7, but they've been pretty strong around the contest, Vardy.
Yeah, Eastland's got some upside. Here is big Vardy. The hand pass hit True right in the face. That would sting. Rogers gave it away. Clermont out of the congestion for the time being. That's a good mark coming the other way. The mark's been taken by Clermont McGee. Again, Jalen McGee. Kicks it long inside 50. There's again goes Garlett. Doesn't mark it. It's coming out to Alvarez. He's got her out wide. Runner out wide. Pull the ball back. Didn't travel the required distance. Taken by Hutchings. Top of the square. Being held off it, I think, was Vardy. Doesn't mark it. Roving the footy again. Kupernitsky's goal. And Kupernitsky's kicked his second. And the West Coast Eagles waffle team are all of a sudden back in front. Are they? No, yes, by a point. 4-7-31 to 5 straight. Good footy. In fact, that is his first, as I say, in Nitschke. Pornich is the other one. I'm getting the Wembley boys mixed up. 1 goal to Nitschke, 1 to Pornich, and 2 to Hug. The top-up players have kicked all 4 goals.
And they're having an impact inside 50, getting the sort of, I guess, the Crummers goals. The 2 goals from Hug, just being in the right position, and the same with Nitschke there, just at the right position, able to throw it on the left boot and just dribble it home from the goal square.
Cam Palmer from the West Coast Eagles is in expert comments, doing a wonderful job. Our good mate, Thumper Bandy, having a well-deserved break from Saturday. He'll be working tomorrow. The Eagles, of course, taking on Carlton in Sydney. Good luck to Luke Edwards, which is a bizarre stat in itself. A South Australian playing for a WA club against a Victorian team in Sydney. Work that out.
And we've got 2 Edwards, so we're, I think, leading the league in Edwards playing tomorrow, with Harry Edwards also going into the team.
And there's an Edwards out here, but he's a Claremont one. That umpire bounced the ball straight over his head. Lucky it didn't hit him in the face. Many years ago, back in the late 70s or early 80s, remember Ron Bucky, and they crossed live. The ABC used to cross down to the waffle games. They crossed down, and Ron Bucky bounced the ball, the late Ron Bucky, fantastic umpire, bounced the ball, him smack in the mush, right in the face. It's one of the funniest things I've seen. It was a cold, stingy day. There's Brayshaw out of the congestion. Here he goes, Brayshaw. A little crossfade there in the picture. There's the kick into the pocket, and there's Nitschke.
Yeah, Nitschke, so we said when he was lining up for his first shot on goal, he kicked goals in 4 or 5, so he's now kicked goals in 5 of the 6 games he's played, and was tied with Vardy for the clubhouse lead on leading goals for the Eagles waffle. He's now got that outright right now.
Well done, Hammer Brayshaw. Broke through the congestion and also the crossover vision. He had cross-eyed, I had cross-eyes, and in the end, Kupernitsky. Now, the breeze is certainly coming from his right shoulder. It's not strong, but at the same time, you have to aim for the right-hand goalpost from here. It's coming through where the working. That's it. That's perfect. It's a terrible kick off the boot. It's a flower bag punt. It went 30 metres and he signalled to the crowd. I'm not too sure there's anyone there. It might have been the workman on the nearby site, but he's kicked 2 goals in the quarter. And again, a wonderful start by the West Coast Eagles waffle, and they're out to a 7-point lead. 5-7-37 to 5 straight 30. This, and dare I say it, and I know they drop out of games and they get quarters where they can't maintain it, this is the best they've looked, pound for pound, in this season by a long way.
And it was a little bit Luke Shuey-like from Hammer Brayshaw, just breaking out of the middle there, and he finished it off well. And Nitschke, again, the kick didn't look great, but it got the job done. So 3 goals from the Wembley boys as well, which must get you very excited, guys.
Well, it's getting me excited. I'm very also, at the same time, very disappointed. We'd like them down there. We've got Collegians next week. We've got 1 win under our belt. We need to get off the bottom. In fact, you can't be in the bottom 2, otherwise you go down into the B grade. Eastland up over the top. There is Brayshaw. your hands are really good. Vardy shows it. Now it runs through the middle again. They have a bounce. How do they go? I think it was Hutchings inside 50. Oh, that's a good mark. Back with the flight of the ball. Not paid. Not paid. They dive on it. Here they go. How does the umpire see it? And the umpire says no prior. Tell you what, let's take a look at the replay. Gee, either front-on contact, albeit very minimal. You probably didn't mark it, but probably could have got the interference front-on.
But again, Lively Nitschke, and it might be him again.
There's a goal again. West Coast again have kicked another one. Is it? No, it's Connor West. Connor West has kicked his first goal in Eagles colours. No surprise, he's done everything else. That's about his 12th or 13th possession. He's had 3 tackles and well played, Connor West. Here's the replay. In tight, hand on the shoulder. West hit the contest hard. They dived across his leg. He's pretty pumped up. Not easy to make that transition from waffle team to waffle team in the space of a few days, but he is fitted hand in glove. And Connor West is racking up the stats. Now he's got a goal, and the lead is out to 13 points. 6-7-43, 5 straight 30. Good game of footy, thanks to Hungry Jacks.
You touched on it. The top-up players have been very good. Again, Borgogno there in the ruck, just being able to make a little bit of a contest. Ollie Eastland wasn't able to hit the target he was looking for. Connor West there to shark it, and a really good finish from out of the stoppage. And just like in the first quarter, our first 15 to 20 minutes of the West Coast Eagles waffle was outstanding, and they've had the ball exclusively in their forward half for the first 7 minutes of this second quarter.
Let's check his stats again. Connor West, we'll keep you updated with Connor West's stats. Very important. Vardy's been good this quarter. There is West again. Brayshaw's also been important in the middle of the ground. Kick the ball now. It comes to centre half forward. Loose hand pass coming back. Hardesty overruns it. Back feeds a hand pass again. Here is Connor West. What he does do is he straightens everybody up. He is dead set. Got the ball on the string. Oh, well done by Hamp. He gives it to Mitchell. Gets it back to Hamp. Hamp then plays up to the middle. They work it here. They have a bounce. They're going to work it out wide. I think it was taken by the first gamer. He kicks it long. Mark. Yes, the mark's been taken in Eastland. No, it's coming back. It's coming back to Buller. Umpire says he's paid the mark. You can't play on from the mark. And Buller will go back. Probably a little bit too far out to score. He's 65 metres out forward, right half forward.
Does have a good kick on him, so I'd expect him to put it in deep long.
He's kicked it to the top of the square. Good disciplined kick. It comes to the front. There's a high tackle. Yeah, it's going to be a free kick to the Tigers. Getting away with that, I'm not too sure. I'm not too exactly sure who that is, but coming back to take it. Yeah, it's Cam Anderson on debut, the 19-year-old.
So for chance for him to kick his first goal, we had Chris Pornich for the Eagles waffle kick his first waffle league goal a little bit earlier, and now Anderson a chance on debut to kick his first goal.
Wembley Downs, I think, Junior Football Club is where it all started for him. Young Anderson, the 19-year-old, directly in front, so they need a responsive goal here, responding goal to Claremont. Close to the man on the mark. He's let the goal umpire do a bit. He's pretty happy. They get around the young fella on debut. The number 33 kicks his first goal. So again, rare inside 50 entries, thanks to Hungry Jacks. 6 straight 36. West Coast are 6-7-43, margin back to 7 points.
And you mentioned that, so the inside 50 so far, 18-7, so there's 6 straight from 7 inside 50 entries, and that's the difference in the game, clinical inside 50 and getting it into dangerous positions when they do get it inside forward 50. It was a good setup from Buller, just put it to the disciplined spot, and a nice mark from Anderson.
Check his stats, a young fella on debut, Cam Anderson, number 33, 19-year-old from Wembley Downs Junior Footy Club.
Just scrolling through, so he's up to the 5 possessions now and a goal. He's had the 2 marks as well, Goss.
Good on you, young fella, on debut.
And West up to 14, still got the 3 tackles and the goal as well. So keep an eye, 35 of his career high, Goss. I reckon that could be in threat. It could be a challenge today.
Yeah, well, they might be starting to think about doing a job on him, and that would be a feather in his cap as well, Borgogno. And he's going to get a free kick against Eastland, who was out of position. And this fella has done a pretty good job, Borgogno. He's now kicked it long inside 50. It's a good kick. Is that a mark? I think it might be just above the grass. How does the umpire see it? He's paid the mark. And it's going to Hanson. So Hanson, who has had a shot, he missed earlier in the first quarter. Take a look at the replay. There's the kick. Does this hit the Claremont turf? Let's take a look at this. Player's shielding the eyes from the sun. No, he's got his fingers underneath. Good call by the umpire. And Hanson couldn't get the responding goal. This is a remarkable start. In fact, I think we might be heading for our season high score here, especially at half time in the game.
Yeah, we had a really good game against Perth early on. I think we kicked 6 or 7, or the Eagles kicked 6 or 7 goals in the first quarter of that
First game of the year?
Yeah, first game of the year.
We did have 14 listed players that day. And still couldn't win. There's the kick by Hanson. He's missed. No, he hasn't.
Yeah,
Yes, he has.
just faded
Oh, that's
right at the
interesting.
end.
Goal umpire coming back between the goals after signalling a point. There it is there. Let's take a look at that scoreboard. 44-36. 10 minutes gone thanks to Hungry Jacks. Hope you're enjoying the action on Facebook and YouTube. We do apologise for the late start for our Facebookers, but our YouTubers saw every minute of Connor West's first quarter. There is Mitchell. Almost got a push in the back from Garlick. Garlick climbed over the top of him. Hardesty tackled strongly from behind. Guess who? Connor West. He has tackles for breakfast. He has them on his wheat bix, does Connor West. And we'll have a ball up left half forward.
Garlick's also had an important few minutes as well. He's sort of working his way into the game. They're giving him a run in the midfield and he's making the most of that opportunity. Another
hold. Which way? Oh, the umpire, the players. So this is the confusion where two ruckmen hold each other and they've got no idea which way the umpire is going to point. But in the end, Eastland gets the square up free kick at right half back for the Tigers. He'll swing it wide on the left. Has he got enough on the kick? Coming hard out was Manuel. Kicked a couple of goals. Here's Edwards. Overruns the footy. There's a ball to get. The Eagles ran past the footy. Mitchell didn't. Got it back to Edwards with the outside of the right boot. It's going to pitch in time. Now they bring it back. And they're going to kick inside 50. Claremont look like they've got numbers. It just pitched inside the line. Oh, that's almost deliberate. You almost can't do that. I tell you what, he knocked the ball over. Just outside the forward 50. Claremont in attack. They trail by 8 points. We've gone 11 minutes midway through the second quarter.
And you almost want Claremont to get inside 50, which the Eagles' defence can repel. It's almost like when you get on a momentum like they've been going inside 50, the Eagles want to be able to repel an attack at some point.
Tap down, hacked forward by the Eagles, out of the congestion to the wing. Ball loose, getting back. It's a 3-on-3 contest. Far side of the ground, almost a free to the Tigers. Umpire said no, play on. Running past it was Hansen. Got a little deft touch back inside. They tackle strongly. They go to ground. No prior. It's a good tackle. I think Rabillard was involved in that. And also Hammer Brayshaw will have a ball up far side.
And Garlick working hard. He was the man that got the hat kick forward out of the back half as well. So working hard there is Jared Garlick.
Yeah, going to only get better too. Coming down from Railways up there in the Great Northern Football League. Made his debut for the West Coast Waffle team last week against South Fremantle. Here he is, got his right shoulder strapped. Many believed he might have been a sneaky chance of being on the list, but the bottom line is if he keeps playing well here, the opportunity might arise later in the season, of course, for next year. There is Borgogno and Eastland. There it is. There's the kick smothered down. It was lucky. It's unlucky the Garlick kick. West was taken without it. He's got to get a free kick. Pulled the shoulders back. Was tackled strongly without the footy. Possession 15. Plays on. Always got eyes to get the ball on. Inside 50. Up they go. Comes to the back. Nitschke can hand pass over. Chooses not to. He's kicked 3 in the turn. Cooper Nitschke against his former team Claremont. And Cooper Nitschke has got this lead out to 14 points. Amazing. 3 goals in the third quarter for Cooper Nitschke, and what a wonderful quarter. There it is, the quick entry from West. Off hands. They're a good little, all good men should be, the small men. Hansen wanted the cheap handball. Nitschke said, no, I'm on a roll. And he's kicked 3 for the turn. Cooper Nitschke.
When there's no one between me and the goals, I'd be doing the exact same thing as what Cooper Nitschke did. But yeah, you're right there, guys. Set up by Connor West. It's that ability to just play on quickly that's catching the Claremont defence unawares. So generally speaking, Claremont have been probably renowned for their defensive efforts and being a defensive side. But this year they've only got the 5th best defence in the Waffle. They're averaging 77 points against, so they're not the same structured defensively as what they've previously been. They've become a more attacking team, Goss.
50 points already midway through the second quarter, and we are heading for clearly our best half of footy. Now it's taken into the ground. That should be a free kick to West, yet driven into the ground by Hardesty, and West gets the free kick, picks himself up, he goes by hand. The run from behind is good by the West Coast Eagles. They kick it long inside 50. Standing underneath that. There's another errant ball. It's bounced off the head of Mountford. Oh, well done by Rabillard getting back. Under pressure. Brayshaw, and they hack it over. That is fantastic. The Claremont defence is rattled at the moment, and the West Coast Eagles get another stoppage. About 35 out. And Hamish Brayshaw has been significant. Might not his goal kicking, but certainly his midfield play has been very good.
And you are correct, Goss. Our highest first half before this week was round 1, 7 goals too. So it is now the highest first half for the Eagles Waffle team in 2021 so far.
I had to get one right, and there is the tackle. Ball's ripped out by True. Hardesty, he's taken the ground, tried to bust his way through. Hand pass Rabillard. Claremont under pressure, almost the hand pass out. They do get it. They work it down the members' wing, interchange side. Big fly, big mark. And
Collins,
this is Collins. He's got some hops too at the same time. He's been under pressure as part of that defensive unit. There's the left, inside 50. Big flights come to the back. Claremont have numbers around the footy. Working it there was Dylan Smallwood. Now they kick it outside their 50 again. No mark taken. Guess who? West. He's met solidly. He loves playing the Tigers. This is 55 out. Play down behind, play for West Coast. True over the footy. Mitchell only knows one way. He was taken to ground, didn't get a free. Collins again. Oh, that should be a free kick against Hardesty. Umpire said no. Again underneath the pack is Connor West. He's remarkable. I know West Perth fans know how good he is. Look at Jared Hardesty absolutely going at the umpire there. That's not going to get him any Sandover votes, let me tell you right here and now. And we have another ball up. 65 out.
And the Collins, the boys have given him the nickname Phil. Apparently he said no nickname when he arrived, and he's been brassed as Phil.
Yeah, I don't think that was would have been too hard to think about it. Anyway, they've got it out there through Mountford. Lim was also involved. Little bounce of the ball. They work it out. They work it to half-back right. This is better from the Tigers. Down the line. Big fly, and the mark's been taken by the newcomer, of course, in our man Anderson. Plays on. Back to England. England now chips it short, just around the bootstraps. Doesn't travel the distance. Oh, that's holding the ball. What a great tackle.
Carey.
Absolutely. Well done, Carey. Fantastic tackle. And that is a wonderful tackle, and that's against Manuel, and it's a free kick for West Coast.
And that forward pressure that the team has been putting on is now sort of, I guess, going down into the back half as well. 50-metre penalty as well, so Carey's going to be walked forward 50 metres and is going to drive them inside 50 again.
And we didn't see why the 50 was, but I have a sneaking suspicion the Claremont player was doing his boot up and was asked to move and didn't. He was too busy trying to do the boot up, and he's been pinged for 50. If that's the case, there's no feel by the umpires that you've got to get your slippers on.
Interesting stat, rebound 50s, Claremont 15, Eagles Waffle 2. Obviously, it hasn't been a lot of inside 50s for Claremont, but incredible stat, 15-2, the rebound 50.
There's another inside 50. Here's True on the left, kick around the corner, bouncing ball, and that's better than going through behind because they get the stoppage and the boundary throw-in. And West Coast have been dangerous. Hug and Nitschke have been dangerous around this area. This is a good stoppage for West Coast.
If you have a look, Hug, Hanson, hands on heads, you can see how hard they've worked in this first half. They've really put everything into this contest.
Daniel Pratt would be very, very happy. They played with a lot better system last week. There's Brayshaw, been good. Under pressure from the Tiger. There in Declan Hardesty. Under pressure again with Claremont. They kick it out. It's only going to go as far on the 50, and the mark's been taken here by Lennon Marlin, of course. And he was good early in the season. I've saw him a couple of times. I don't think he was the worst player. I reckon it was against Claremont at Bassendean. I thought he was good.
He had 13 kicked a goal last week, and he seems to think he's some chance from outside the paint of 50.
Well, he's lining up for just his second disposal. This will need every bit of Lennon Marlin's right boot. That's a terrible kick. Top of the square. That was a terrible kick. He didn't strike it at all well. Bailey Rogers gets it. So you've got to know your strengths and weaknesses, Lennon, anyway. And on this occasion, here's Manuel's hand pass. It's dangerous. Oh, gee, they're under pressure. Stephen Miller tackled again by Hug over the footy. He's dived on it. It's underneath him. Claremont get time to get it out. There he is against Stewart. Was he taken high? Umpire says yes, he is. Going to be a free kick just on the backside of the centre square. 50 plays 36. We've gone 18 minutes. Hope you enjoy the action. Dangerous kick, especially when this man is lurking. Kupernitsky 3 for the quarter. There's the kick. Oh, that's a terrible kick. That's just a kick and hope to the top of the square. Poor turnover by the Eagles Waffle, and the ball's going to come out. Here's Lim. Lim hand pass again. They work it out through Anderson. Over the top it comes. They get it to Carter. Carter down the line. Missed its kick, missed its target. I'm pretty sure he was out of bounds. He was. Taken over the ground by McGee was number 18 in Jake Patmore. And we'll have a throw in front of the Eagles bench.
Again, those top-up players have worked really hard in this first half. This is probably a crucial 10 minutes of the game. They just need to probably maintain the effort for this last 10 minutes. If they can go into half-time 2 goals up, absolutely, you're going to take that if you're Daniel Pratt.
Hug hacked it off the ground, but it's going to be coming back. They set it up again. Here is England. England pulls it into the middle of the ground. They like to stretch the field here, Claremont. They like to make you work. Kick by Mitchell. Gee, that barely travelled the required distance. Chip over the top. Pedestrian stuff, too much on the kick. Here's True. Emergency for our senior team. Oh, the kick's now being smothered down on 50. Another error. Here's Miller off one step inside 50. And again, just turning it over. Oh, he wanted to go, Patmore. And that's what happens if you make mistakes in the dangerous territory, and we've seen that a couple of times. Mark Hutchings missed a target, ended up in a goal, and now lining up for goal. Here it is here. Hardesty.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky, true. You could see what he was trying to do just to get the ball on the outside. It was a good defensive effort from the Claremont forward to get the hand on it, and then Patmore's here to receive the next kick down inside 50.
Can't be cute though, Cam. You can't be cute in this situation. Get it out of there. There's the kick by Patmore. That is a goal. So once again, that hurts. Another mistake by the West Coast Eagles defence, ticking into time on. But they do lead by 8 points. Claremont are 7 straight, 42. And the West Coast Eagles are doing a fine job, albeit they're giving up some opportunities there, 7-8-50. So at the moment, 15 scoring shots to 7, and they only lead by 8 points.
Yeah, so the inside 50 is now 25-10, and that's probably the telling stat of the first half, is the Eagles just not getting reward for effort. Interestingly, Claremont, who are a high possession team, they're the #1 disposal team in the waffle. They've had 143 to 112, so they're getting a lot of the ball, Claremont, but positively for the Eagles waffle team, a lot of that is in the back half and through the middle. So if they can just make it a little bit more of these forward 50 entries, the Eagles, they probably could have had a slightly bigger advantage.
No doubt. 24 inside 50s to 10. 24 to 10, and they lead by 8 points. So 10 inside 50s for 7 goals, Claremont.
And that conversion rate, 7 straight, 100%. The Eagles, 7-8, is converting at 47%. Bouncing's been terrible by the umpires today. That's the 3rd or 4th that we've had recalled.
What does that tell you?
The umpiring has been okay, but the bouncing has been poor.
Throw it up. Throw it up. It should not depend on an umpire's future at this level. Should not be dependent on whether they can bounce the ball or not. It's ridiculous. Anyway, it's all part of the trimmings of it. Here they go. They kick it inside 50. Again, a forward 50 entry. Come to the back of the pack. They've been dangerous here, the West Coast Eagles. There's a kick by Hanson. Just rushed through by the Tigers. Hanson did well. He's a big man who moves well.
Great effort from Hutchings in the middle as well. He was the one that just kept that ball going forward, was able to get his handball out, and that was what caused the another forward 50 entry for the Eagles.
51-42, ticking up to 22 minutes gone in this quarter. Claremont get it out now from the defensive 50. Here he is again, England. In fact, it's, should I say Martinez. Martinez will chip over the top. Just travels the required distance. So Claremont trying to get some usage of the footy now through a few sets of hands. I think the West Coast Eagles waffle will be appreciated a slower pace. They go short to Hardesty. Jared Hardesty. He's got some fair ink on his left side of his body. He goes with the left. They get it down to Mountford. Comes to the wing. Oh, breaking the tackle. Far too easy, the Johnson tackle. There again was Stewart. Inside 50. Big fly. No mark taken. The ball comes to the ground. Oh, great tackle and chase. Picked up again by Patmore with the outside of the right boot. It's trying to work its way back. First miss of the game for the Tigers. Tried to be cute. Probably could have run in and actually had a genuine shot for goal. First missed. 7-1-43. And the West Coast Eagles are 7-9, and that is 51.
I reckon the AFL senior coach Adam Simpson will really like that Nathan Vardy last line of defence getting back there to help out his teammates. So good effort from Vardy. He's been very good in a real good battle with Eastland in the first half.
Johnson turnover, and it's another turnover, and every time they've turned it over, they've actually paid the supreme price. Again, a poor kick, and it's now ended up with Eastland. Eastland marks it on 50. He's allowed to get off. He loves a long kick. Kicks it with the left, and there as the marksman taken. You talk about Vardy, and there it is. That's a good spotting up by Cam Palmer. You're dead right. He has taken the mark on the goal line and got it out now to Joey Deegan. Flares it across the goal face. Taken here by Carey. Carey's short. So this is a chance just to retain a bit of possession here. It's now with Seb Bentley.
I think that's one of the other things. You spoke a little bit earlier about the structure. They do seem to have a pretty good structure going at the moment between those top-up players and the senior listed players.
Johnson showed too much of the footy to the opposition. That's a couple of errant kicks now by the young defender. He's got speed, he's got skill, but he's got to get his direction right because his back line is under pressure enough over the hands of Brayshaw. Coming the other way was Hutchings. Hand pass to no man's land. Does well to go back in and get it. And they're sucking it in, the West Coast Eagles. They are really starting to just get a little bit more fatigued. They've had an outstanding first half to lead by 8 points. I think Hamish Brayshaw might be sending a message back to young Ben Johnson about a couple of his disposals.
Hutchings has had a really good second quarter as well. He's another one that's just having a little bit more of an impact around the contest for that Eagles waffle team.
Shallow throw in. Oh, Vardy, brilliant at the back, hacked forward. It bounces off the leg now of Rebillard. It's coming back in. Claremont are in the dangerous territory. It's through a sets of hands. They're coming to the back. They just want to work it out, the Eagles. They do. They chip over the top. And the mark's been taken here, out there by Collins.
On the Eagles debut.
Yep, absolutely. Up and down in the league team with his previous club, of course, Swan Districts. Wide kick, another dangerous kick across goal, almost. They just get away with it. It's Carey. Gee, they make life hard for themselves, don't they? There's the wide kick. They raffle it. Oh, he's hit hard. And, gee, I tell you what, coming in was Alvarez.
I think it's Joey Deegan.
Yeah, Joey Deegan. Alvarez was the bumper. And...
it seemed a little bit innocuous, didn't it, though? He just may have got him just in the ribs
spot.
there.
Yeah, in the sweet spot.
A few weeks back against East Fremantle, Joey was in the wars. They had 2 or 3 times that he went down, so maybe still carrying a little bit, Joey.
Vardy being held by the arm by Eastland, has it on the wing. 25 gone. Just be nice to get to half-time and not concede a goal and maybe get one themselves, but they won't if they turn the ball over, and Hampers taking it in the blue boots. He turns around, gets it to Bolton, being busy now, had a better second quarter. Running it hard as his left calf heavily strapped, comes wide. Work it out now, work it down the members' wing. Down the line, almost a mark. Gee, that is a good mark, and the mark's been taken there by Buller.
Yeah, Buller's had a couple of really strong marks. He's a rapidly improving forward or power forward for this Claremont side.
Dylan Smallwood was the kicker. It comes down now. It's taken here around the corner by Barton. Through the hands, West Coast to turn it over again. There's another turnover. There's a quick kick. Up and under, stand inside the pocket. A bounce of the ball through the hands of Collins. Manuel's kicked a couple of goals. He's ushered over the line and out of play, and we'll have a throw in. Even Claremont look a little bit fatigued. We've gone 26 minutes. It's been a good game of footy. I hope you're enjoying it, courtesy of the West Coast Eagles live stream. 51 plays 43. Still got about 3 or 4 minutes, you would imagine. The first quarter went 31. We'll have a throw in.
Yeah, first winter weekend, though, you wouldn't know it with the conditions. 21 degrees. Probably a little bit warmer out there on the field as well with the sun beating down, Goss.
21 degrees was according to the Bureau of Meteorology, the bomb site. And we'll have a ball up. And again, the tackling machine underneath that is Connor West and Jai Bolton, of course, who played for WA together a couple of weeks ago in Adelaide.
So leads all possession winners, Connor West with 16, also leads the tackle count with 6.
He's kicked a goal to boot as well. Vardy's been very good. Now there's a hold, there's a free kick, and it might be going to Claremont. It is, and it's going to Bolton. West Coast had got it out, and it's going to be Bolton who's going to line up for goal. Here it is here. There's Bolton through traffic. And Bolton almost locked up the arms of Hutchings there. That is a tough call. And when the ball comes out under that situation, you always worry what the umpire is looking at. Is he looking at the ball in the next contest, or is he looking at what's taken place?
When you're a 4-time Simpson, 2-time Sandover medal winner, sometimes you maybe just get those calls, Goss, and Jai did get the call on the occasion.
Jai Bolton is lining up for goal. We're right behind the kick. And good players like Jai Bolton don't miss. That's a lucky free kick. But they'll take what they can get, the Tigers. They've got it back to 2 points. 27.5 gone. Bolton gets a goal. And the margin, here it is. Well, there's the goal. That was... that's the stuff that the Eagles missed in the first quarter. Brayshaw missed one, and they missed a couple of set shots. But Claremont are a good side, and they'll take all those opportunities. Let's take another check of some of the stats, some leading stat getters for the West Coast Eagles waffle, apart from Connor West.
Yeah, so Connor still has the 16. Brayshaw up to 12, been very good in the second quarter. Hutchings likewise busy in the second quarter. He's up to 11. Joey Deegan 10, and Nitschke's up to 10 along with the 3 goals. So he's been very lively in the second quarter. And for Claremont, Rogers is at 15, Bolton 15, and Martinez at 14 as well. Martinez, interestingly, second on Claremont for possessions this year. He's averaging 27 a game, so right now nearly halfway. Half time, he's nearly halfway to that 27.
Yeah, well, she's the kicker inner. He's the kicker inner, isn't he? I think Martinez, which always inflates your stats a little bit.
I do remember Ben Johnson against East Fremantle a couple of weeks back having a career day because of that exact reason.
Get out of the square and put it on the stat sheet. Garlett taken to ground, did not get a free kick. Under pressure, West Coast Eagles, they backfeed a hand pass. Eastland was there, he got it back to Hardesty, throws it on the boot inside 50. Claremont over the footy, Barton did well, pulled it back. Under pressure, they're going to get it out through Collins, who threw it on the left. It's a skill error maybe if it trickles over. They keep it in, hand pass down the line. He's trying to step back. You've got a problem. Like Deacon did really well, actually. Got ball to boot. It was a good tackle from Mitchell, but only as far to turn the ball over. They kick it inside 50. A flower bag kick going to come to the back. There's a free kick. Which way is it going? It's going to Claremont.
Yeah, Jack Buller is going to get the free kick for the hold, and just where those repeat inside 50 entries, we saw the Eagles do it in the first quarter, and now Claremont having their time to do it again. A little bit fortunate, I would say. That kick, and in the middle of the ground, Garlett very unlucky not to get a free kick. Umpire didn't see it that way.
Well, the free kick count would be interesting, but anyway, lining up for goal is Jack Buller. He kicked one in the first.
Free kick count 9-7 the way of the Eagles. Maybe that last one's come in, so 9-8 the way of the Eagles. It's all about where they are, though, Goss.
100%, and they've had a couple of gifts here in this quarter. Jack Buller and Claremont have taken the lead on the back of 2 free kicks within 25 metres. First to Bolton, second to Buller, and the Tigers have got themselves in front. They are 9-1-55, and the West Coast Eagles are 7-9-51. 9-1 to 7-9 inside 50. Certainly the dominant one for the West Coast Eagles, but unfortunately on the board, Claremont have taken with accuracy the lead by 4 points, closing in on half-time. We've gone 30 minutes.
And the 2 quarters have followed the exact same script. Eagles waffle dominate the first half to first 20 minutes, and then Claremont pegged them back, and as they did in the first quarter, grabbing the lead late in the shadows of the break.
Perfect day for footy. Hope you're enjoying it. Good luck to our West Coast Eagles team against Carlton tomorrow. It'll be a great win. And through adversity, through the injuries of our senior team, it's still the opportunity for a lot of young players like Luke Edwards, Harry Edwards to get some game time and some exposure at the top level. Vardy up, wins it down. Probably should have grabbed it out of that contest. Deegan coming off the wing, taken by Rogers, gets it back to Bolton. Bolton now flares it wide, pull on back on the kick, pitch of the ball, under pressure, they work it out. It's taken by Pat Moore and wide, and now the mark's taken by Edwards, who kicked the goal early in the first quarter. Edwards short, again Bolton. So they're starting to lag off their players here. The West Coast Eagles in their midfielders, and Buller's taken the mark. So another entry, and if you're looking at the inside 50 entries and the connect for goals, you'd think that Buller is a very big chance of connecting here for his third major.
Yeah, so Buller kicked 3 in the last 2 games, and he's going to line up for his third today as well. So he's kicked 14 goals on the season, and he's had a pretty good second quarter as well for Claremont.
Yeah, pretty loose in the middle of the ground there by the West Coast Eagles. Just, as you mentioned, the foot's just come off the gas at the moment. We're almost up to 32 minutes. There's the kick by Buller.
I think it's narrow all the way.
He's gone narrow, yes. That's a let-off for the West Coast Eagles. 9-2 to 7-9. Hope you're enjoying the action, courtesy of Hungry Jacks, the live stream.
Here is Johnson with a kick out, so I reckon he's going to run out of the line and get the stat.
Well, he hasn't used the ball all that well, so this is the part that has let him down so far. Long kick out of the congestion, but it's going to come straight back in. Edwards, hand pass, Pat Moore pulled the hand pass back to the middle of the ground. Far too easy, kick around the corner. And that is, again, a very talented young Cam Anderson. So, again, they just can't get the ball out of their back half here, the West Coast Eagles. Claremont have locked it in the blink of an eye. Have got themselves out to an 11-point lead. 10-2-62, 7-9-51. And the West Coast Eagles hanging on grimly, coming up to the long break. We've almost gone up to 33 minutes.
Yeah, on debut, Cam Anderson been very, very impressive. His second goal, and just been lively. He's with Claremont, we're struggling a little bit early on in the game and early in this second quarter. He's been one of those guys that's had a bit of flair around the ball and has been prepared to take the game on, took the contest on there and was able to convert a very clever goal around the body.
Yeah, Daniel Pratt won't be happy. And at the middle of the ground is also where they've started to lower their colours to Claremont, who are a very good midfield team, of course. So whether it's fatigue or not, whether Claremont have just upped the ante, but all of a sudden, in the shadows of half-time, it is another long quarter. Been a high-scoring contest, of course. But also the West Coast Eagles really struggling to get the ball out of their back half. True's hand pass to West. Deegan. Hand pass again, back through the middle. West doesn't stand and watch his work. He just kicks it long. There's the siren. The siren sounds as West just gets ball to boot. Half-time, and it is the Claremont Tigers who have only lost 1 game this year, and that, of course, is to Subiaco. But they have worked their way to an 11-point lead, 10-2-62. West Coast to 7-9-51, and we'll take a check of the goal kickers for both teams at half-time. We'll do it here now. For Claremont, it's 2 goals to Anderson, 2 to Buller, 2 to Manuel, singles to Bolton, Edwards, England and Patmore. And for the West Coast Eagles, 3 to Kupininsky. They all came in that second quarter. 2 to Hug, both from the boundary line. Pornich with 1 and Connor West on debut for the West Coast Eagles. We'll take a break. Thanks to Hungry Jacks. We hope you're enjoying the live stream. It is the Tigers by 11 points, but there's a lot to like about our West Coast waffle.
The overall inspiration is the story of the country and how, the culture is connected to the land and the mythology that ties it all in. So the creation story as part of, my Nyunga culture, but it ties in so well with other cultures throughout the country as well.
It's really different compared to what we had last year. I really liked the design, I liked the waggle that's coming through it. Obviously that means it tells a really good story.
The story of creation goes that the waggle travelled down from the east. Everywhere it travelled, it created the rivers and valleys, and the places where it stopped, those are where the Great Lakes are of Perth. And here in the Derby-Yurigan area is where it stopped for rest and pushed its body out and made the big kind of space. So it talks about how things are created, but it also gives, I guess, a little bit of significance to those water areas, treat it with respect. And when you go there, you announce yourself and say, Kaya Waggle, hello, how are you? Chuck some sand into the water and announce yourself.
Personally, I think for Aboriginal people it's a massive week, but I think it should be a massive week for all of Australia, taking that step forward together. And I think the theme this week is all about action more than words. So I think, weeks like this really highlight that. It's important on both sides, especially education, I think, for Aboriginal people to know who they are and where they're from so their story can continue, but education for non-Indigenous people as well to learn about, what's happened in the past and how we can walk forward together in the future. I think it's one of the best looking jumpers I've seen. Actually, I can't wait to see the boys run out of it. It's going to look amazing out in the deck, and it means a lot to Noongar people. So yeah, very excited to see the boys run out in it.
I was saying to the players earlier, it's like you are carrying around this big story, this big mythology. You're carrying it around on your shoulders, but don't feel the weight of that. Feel the strength within it.
Not every AFL player's career and journey is glamorous and rock and roll when you play every single game and you're a superstar. I think from my perspective, it's always been a battle. Sometimes I do win and I get into the AFL team, and sometimes I don't. Yeah, so I was born in Derby, a small town in the Kimberley, at the top of Western Australia, and I lived there for the first 7 years of my life. Everyone's interested in the Archie last name, and it's actually a Chinese last name. So my grandfather's grandfather, his name was Owen Archie, and he was born in China, along with 2 of his brothers. They sailed out to Australia. Obviously, he filtered down all the way through, had sons, and the surname survived. So I guess my background's a bit complicated with different nationalities, but I've always been brought up as an Aboriginal person, and that stems from how I was brought up and how my parents were brought up. Mum's language groups are Bolku and Pinjarab, so that's from up in Nullagine in the Pilbara and Pinjarra just south of Perth. And on my dad's side, it's Nikanaranyaro, which is Derby and Broome in the Kimberleys. Yeah, I've always been curious about my Aboriginal ancestry. Obviously, it was just a part of my life. I just grew up being an Aboriginal kid. As I got older, it was sort of about piecing that story together and, figuring out exactly where I come from and who my ancestors are. And part of that story was learning about, the Chinese, the Dutch and the Filipino and the English and the Scottish and all the other things that make me up. But the thing I always found the most interesting was my Aboriginal heritage. I didn't really expect to be drafted. It was awesome just to share that moment with my family, and yeah, 3 days later I was off to Adelaide. I remember making the call to my dad and mum after I got the news I was going to make my debut, play my first game. They were just in tears because they sort of thought it was never going to happen. So yeah, to be able to play a few games over there was amazing, and it was a bit of a challenge to get into the AFL side. I was in and out, I was dropped a fair bit, but that's ultimately led to my decision to want to come back to Perth, to West Coast.
Brendan Archie down there, making his debut for the West Coast Eagles, the former power player.
Yeah, I've been extremely lucky. I've had 10 years in the system, but it could have easily been over after 2. You know, I didn't really show too much in those first 2 years, but luckily enough, list managers and coaches saw enough of potential in me to be able to keep me around. And since that 2-year mark, it's been nothing but 1-year contracts. A lot of weeks you're being told you're not quite there, mate. You're not quite ready to play AFL, or you weren't quite good enough this week. So it's a bit of a mental battle to be able to play AFL footy, especially when you're stuck on the fringe. Yeah, I guess it's a bit of a struggle each week, not knowing where you're going to play, but that's just part of my journey. That's my story. When it comes to the club culture and being a selfless teammate, then you can't walk around the club with your head hanging down, and you have to be up and about and playing good footy so that the players ahead of you are up and about and playing good footy, and that's what builds premiership teams. That's what makes teams really successful, is having your A graders ready to go, the players just behind them ready to go as well, and everyone's lifting each other up. As a football player, I feel like I've got a lot of ability to reach out to the community, to non-Indigenous and Indigenous people, to share my story and share the Aboriginal story. And for people that might not know much about it, I'm there to help them, to speak about my experiences, to speak about my family's experiences and how the past has led to where we are today. And I'm all about bridging that gap. It's up to Australia today to learn from the past and actually know what happened in the past and understand that Australia's history isn't pretty. There's a lot of bloodshed and tears that have gone into where we are today. So I think if we're going to patch that up and move forward together, then we have to have these conversations. Yeah, so I'm a dad now, which is the most probably unbelievable experience of my life. It was quite funny. I found out the first week that I was over in the hub, in the COVID hub, that I was going to be a dad. So didn't really get to celebrate with Cassie, my partner. Had to wait 6 weeks to get home and finally give her a cuddle and say, wow, we're going to be parents. I think the best part about it is, like I said, the mental toll with footy, the ups and downs, the roller coaster ride. To be able to come home and baby girl doesn't care if I'm a footy player or not. She just wants me to be a dad. So for me to be able to come home and put all that footy stuff aside and just be a dad, I find is extremely rewarding.
Barminco has been a proud co-major partner of the West Coast Eagles AFLW team since 2019. As one of the first partners to join the AFLW side, Barminco has supported the Eagles girls from their inaugural season in 2020. This year, the partnership between Barminco and the club has grown even bigger, with Barminco employees having the opportunity to engage directly with the Eagles AFLW program. Across the season, Eagles stars like Dana Hooker, Kelly Gibson and Emma Swanson have all been part of Barminco and West Coast Eagles co-branded engagement events. On game days, the Barminco Boundary Box has been a space where Barminco employees and their families have been able to watch the West Coast Eagles AFLW in action. Staff and families were also welcomed into the inner sanctum of the Eagles' home at Mineral Resources Park. This included a special baking masterclass and a kids clinic which allowed the children of Barminco to hone their footy skills. The West Coast Eagles have also been hosted by Barminco at their high-performance training facility in Hazelmere to get a greater insight into the training requirements at one of the world's leading mining services companies. With these common links of driving elite performance standards and embracing family, the West Coast Eagles and Barminco partnership has continued to grow. The West Coast Eagles AFLW program thanks Barminco, their employees and their families for the loyalty and support of a flourishing partnership.
Devastation on a scale rarely seen here in WA has destroyed almost half the buildings in Kalbarri.
The tourist town took a direct hit from Cyclone Seroja last night, with 170 km/h winds smashing the coast.
Look, obviously some people in our communities are doing it really tough right now, and the reality is that they may be doing it tough for some time to come. So as well as the physical damage to property caused by the cyclone, there's also the mental side of how you deal with that and how it affects you in other ways.
Guys, what it is, We're so grateful to have a visit from the West Coast Eagles. Since the cyclone, the whole landscape for the children has really changed with the devastation that they saw at their school. But one thing that hasn't changed is the community spirit that they have and the love of their community. People have just been so kind and generous with their time to come and spend time with the kids and doing something they love to do, which is play footy.
We were asked by the WA Education Department to come up north to Kalbarri, Northampton and Binoo to give back to the communities that have done it tough after Cyclone Seroja for the last month or so and do a couple of footy clinics. We've linked in with the regional police, just giving back where we can to the guys that have done it pretty tough. I do love mucking around with the kids. I've got a little bit of a 10-year-old in me still, so I love kicking footy and mucking around and having as much fun as I can. So I remember back when I was a little kid like that, we had visits from players and from the footy club. And I just used to love it. So, you know, whenever I do those things, I try and put myself in their shoes and think how much they'd enjoy it. So I give everything that I can and hope they have a bit of fun. It was great to get involvement from some of our players back home. We had some Zoom calls with a few AFL and AFLW players, which the community got a lot out of.
Oh, it's been a crazy few days. So Monday I got a call from a few of the recruiting boys just to come in. Didn't really get a lot, but yeah, they just said if the opportunity came, then yeah, they'd potentially look at me, and yeah, obviously it went my way. And after that, it's like I said, it's been a crazy little 24 hours or the last 2 days.
Yeah, so on Wednesday I was watching the draft. I wasn't quite sure what was going to happen. So watching and my name got read out, the whole room went off, everyone went crazy and it was a massive flood of emotion.
Yeah, being out with guys is just unreal. Like, you go from just training off at the Falcons and then now you're training with the likes of Nina Nui, Luke Shuey, so it's like, yeah, it's a big change up, but yeah, just super grateful and excited to be here. Yeah, the mullet's not too bad. It's still got a bit of work to do, but yeah, hopefully I can earn a bit of the respect from the other boys that have had them.
Well, it's all still sinking in. I'm really grateful and excited for the opportunity that I have. Training yesterday was great. You know, I sort of feel like now I'm part of the team. I'm able to really foster good relationships with people and really grow with the team around me. Yeah.
Not every AFL player's career and journey is glamorous and rock and roll and you play every single game. And
to come out here and play a professional sport in a different country is kind of what you dream of.
I think from my perspective, it's always been a battle. Sometimes I do win and I get into the AFL team and sometimes I don't.
We always did the same kind of things growing up.
Fights are behind closed doors.
Welcome back to Claremont Oval. Thanks to Hungry Jacks. This is our live stream of the West Coast Eagles taking on Claremont. Thanks to Hungry Jacks, it is currently a 11-point lead for the Tigers. They did their damage late in that second quarter. Nitschke leads the way with 3 goals for West Coast, 2 to Hug. They came in the first quarter. Connor West, Cam Palmer joining Tim Gossage with you. And I know we've probably haven't overcooked it because he's been simply outstanding today. He's on debut here for the West Coast Eagles. And look, there's already been plenty of calls for him to come straight back into the league team. I mean, we wouldn't want to get ahead of themselves, and probably Simo's rolling his eyes right now watching the live stream over there in Sydney, but I'm sure he's certainly not doing his chances any harm.
Yeah, he's been outstanding, and I think today's performance is everything that you were hoping to get in Connor West. He's been really, really strong on the inside when he's needed to be. He's laid the 5 very heavy tackles, and he's worked his backside off around the ground as well. We saw him take a really strong defensive mark at one point. He got forward to kick a goal around the stoppage, and then he's just in position to receive the ball. There's been a couple of times where there's been a string of handballs, and then next thing it's in the hands of Connor West. He takes that 5 metres, explodes away, and then kicks at 50. He's that 55, 60-metre player that the West Coast Eagles waffle team had been lacking.
Very much so, and that's also, you take a look at the highlights here, that was just a mistake. Missed its target, Mark Hutchings, that was Edwards. So that was the first goal that Claremont got, and there was a number of back 50 turnovers. Don't want to sort of labour the point, but Ben Johnson had some moments as well. But there it is there. There's a quick entry inside 50. Good run from behind for the West Coast Eagles. Brayshaw spotting up a man, and as we mentioned, Cooper Nitschke kicked 3. He missed that set shot, but here's Hug. He kicked 2 exact same goals from the same spot.
Yeah, 2 very good goals from Kieran Hug. He was good in the first quarter, then Cooper Nitschke was really good in the second quarter by kicking 3. If you get 5 goals from your small forwards in a game, you're doing pretty well, and the Eagles have got 5 in the first half.
Very much so, but we always knew Claremont were going to keep on coming, and they did. And as we saw there, Callum England with a goal, of course, formerly on the West Coast Eagles list. And it just came from a few mistakes, and we've mentioned that a couple of times. Just mistakes from the back, whether that's lack of options up the ground or just errant disposals. He kicked a couple manual very quickly.
And just the game flow of both quarters, it was Eagles good early, then Claremont come back. In the first quarter, Claremont actually kicked 4 goals from the 22-minute mark beyond. And then in the second quarter, they kicked 3 goals from the 27-minute mark beyond. So deep in time on is when they did do their damage. So 7 of their 10 goals have come deep in red time.
Cooper Nitschke, there it is there. He had a purple patch, 3 very quick goals. Hamish Brayshaw was good out of the middle. He gave a bit of a chop out to Connor West.
Yeah, so I think if you're having a look at the best, Brayshaw was amongst them. Hug and Nitschke, who we've spoken about. West, outstanding. And Vardy's been really good. His presence has been very important.
Very true. Yeah, it's been very good, has Vardy. This was unlucky. That wasn't paid the mark, and then he got pinged for holding the ball in the end. I thought that was a really tough call.
Yeah, and just looking, I guess, that was the Connor West goal that we spoke about around the stoppage. Yeah, and good to see the boys get around him as well. And then this was just when Claremont started to become a bit more into it. Really liked the game of Cam Anderson. That was his first goal. He ended up kicking 2 in the second quarter, and he's been very lively.
Yeah, it was a high tackle that he, again, came through. There is, again, Connor West. He just gets it up. He has heads-up play all the time. Got lucky again at the back. Hansen was never going to get that from Cooper Nitschke.
But Hansen, he has been one that's been a bit of a presence down there as well.
True.
In some ways, it would have been nice to see him get a little bit of reward for his effort, but I don't think Cooper was going to be giving that up at any point. So
no doubt about that.
This was another goal from Cam Anderson. Very good snap around the body, under pressure. And again, he's been very, very lively.
Thanks to Hungry Jacks. It is a beautiful day for football. Just a reminder, tomorrow we're looking forward to the West Coast Eagles taking on Carlton at the SCG. But still a bit of work to do here. The boys are down by 11 points. And Hamish Brayshaw has been good. The skipper, of course, had a couple of set shots which didn't quite connect. Zane Sumich is there, number 65, just crashing straight into Hammer Brayshaw. It's good to see the Sumich name back at the West Coast Eagles.
And the second quarter, statistically, had been the Eagles' real struggle quarter. They'd only had 7 points for against 31 against going into today. So to 4 goals 2 to 5 goals 2, a far better effort in the second quarter. This is the danger quarter, though. Claremont do outscore the opposition 31-16 in the third quarter. So he'll look for a fired-up Claremont after half-time with Ashley Prescott, no doubt, giving his boys a fair old pep talk at half-time because they haven't had the same energy. They haven't had the same effort. Their pressure around the contest has not been as strong as what the West Coast Eagles waffle has been.
They probably needed a bit of a spark, and that spark coming from the fact is that West Coast held a pretty comfortable lead midway through that third quarter. But in the other side of things also is that I saw Claremont play West Perth here at this venue. It was an arm wrestle. It was physical for the first half. And then Claremont came out and absolutely took West Perth apart in the third quarter.
And the other part of, I guess, is at one point, I think Claremont were 7 inside 50s for 6 goals straight. So that's been the other part. Forward of centre, Claremont have been ruthless with their goal kicking. They average 59% goal accuracy on the year, 10-2 today, even better again. Jared Brander out there with the boys having a little bit of a kick.
Absolutely.
And Oscar Allen as well. So good to see the boys getting around their teammates. And Jacob Brennan in the pink shirt as well.
Kevin Sparks is also there. Sparksy livening up the crew. So it is great that the boys are down. Of course, Jared Brander and Oscar Allen both missing.
Just having a look at the back there. We've got, is it one of the, no, it's one of the trainers I was going to say. I thought it was one of the boys in the vest, but no, we're all good. So just about to break and second half about to get underway shortly. Carey among the boys that is coming across to the bench for the Eagles, a waffle team.
Can you run through just quickly, just the overall disposals for the entire team from top to bottom, all of our West Coast Eagles fans wanting to know the entire team, most disposals, all the way down?
So if we start at the top, it is West up with 18. We go down to Hammer Brayshaw with 12, Joey Deegan 12, Hutchings 12, and also 4 marks for Hutchings. Nitschke 10 and the 3 goals, which we said. Nitschke's also laid the 4 tackles. Kieran Hugg 9 and 2 goals. Johnson 9 possessions, 6 kicks, 3 handballs. True with 9. Flowing down, Bentley with 6. Collins, again, debuting for the Eagles with 6. Sears with 6. Vardy with 6 and 13 hit-outs. Ball Gognos, who's had some good moments with 5. Carey 5. Hanson 5, 2 behinds. Sumich 4. Garlett 3. Marlin 3. McGee 3. And Humble and Pornich with 1. Pornich is 1 possession. The goal.
Yep, absolutely. All righty, we're underway here for the third quarter. I hope you're enjoying the live stream. 11-point lead to the Tigers here at home. Only the one loss this year. And that was to Subiaco.
West on the inside of this contest as well.
And he attacks the footy, and Edwards looks like he's got a job on him. And it almost looks like they're putting the run-to on him now. Claremont are going to get this out. Here it is. It's Barton. Kicks it out into the pocket. He could have straightened it up, taken back. It's good tackle. That's holding the ball. That should be a free kick, and it is. And the free kick going to McGee.
He's been good against his former side, McGee. He's had a couple of really good moments, a couple of good defensive marks in the second quarter, and a nice tackle there to start the third.
His mum will be watching. Erica. Hack it out to the right, towards the wing. No mark taken by Borgogno. Mountford, Lim, being chased hard, got the kick, the ball on boot, into the pocket. Oh, coming in underneath him was McGee. And McGee has slid in, and that's going to be a free kick, and it's going to come back. And it's going to come out to Miller. Miller, 55 out. We'll keep an eye on McGee because he went off with concussion just a couple of weeks ago when he put his head down. Collins has taken the mark in the right back pocket for West Coast.
Yeah, Will Collins read that really well coming across. And McGee in that last contest was the one that was a little bit worse for wear, but it does seem...
Big fly, Vardy! Sorry, Cam, he's left a trail of destruction behind him. That was a big fly from Vards over the top to Hutchings. That is a huge leap.
Yeah, as I say, he's only had the 6, or here we go from 3 deep. God, nice and high. That one will be one for the pool room for Nathan Vardy, I'd imagine. Can't remember the big fella taking too many marks like that, to be honest.
Nice work, Vards. Good stuff. That'll be on the highlights reel, as you mentioned. Carter was there for Claremont. Great smother. That's better. Good forward half pressure by the West Coast Eagles. Here it is again.
Yes.
Yeah, why not?
Yes.
Bang, the knee in the back of the head of Miller. Miller stayed down. Vardy, clean as you like.
And Miller, a big fella, he'd be a 195 centimetres, so he hasn't done it over the Rover. He's gone up over another big fella as well, Vardy. So
he's up
a very
good
leap.
Yeah, he's knocked it down. Lim's hand pass, missed its target. Hutchings scoops it up, didn't get a free kick. Inside 50, goes back after his own work, forcing the issue now, under pressure. And it looks like they're doing a job now on Connor West. I think Ash Prescott said if we're going to win this game of footy, we're going to take him out of the game. But here he is, he's going to take the free kick on the out of bounds on the full. Wants to play on, no one stands the mark. 60 metres out, kicks it long, kicks it towards the top of the square, and that's getting back. Nice mark taken by Rogers. It was a low percentage kick by West. There's an extra ball on the ground, I've noticed. There's the kick around the corner. The mark's been taken by Barton.
But I will say, if Connor West is in the senior team in a few weeks, that kick's not a bad one. You've got Josh Kennedy, you've got Jack Darling, you've got Oscar Allen, the likes of that. So keep it up, young fella.
Yep. Mark's been taken.
Buller.
Taken by Buller. Kicked a couple of goals in that second quarter. Kick in there, I've just got numbers lining up through the middle. Lim, Bolton, a little 1-2. Comes back to Lim, coasts in and kicks to a man in the goal square. Far too easy. I don't know how that was a breakdown in defence. And going back, lining up for his third goal is Alex Manuel. Shouldn't be missing from the goal square. All the attacking was West Coast. Got caught napping. They were all forward of the play, and that was far too easy.
Their setup's been really good in the first half, the Eagles' defence, and that was just one time where they were just not able to get the outlet kick and then probably just didn't work back hard. He's missed it.
He has
He's hit
missed.
the post.
That is a terrible shot. That is a lazy shot. I went to mark it down for a goal. Good and glad one of us is watching, Alex Manuel, and that is a terrible miss. Here it is here, top of the square. And he didn't just hit the post, he hit it flush. He couldn't have hit it any more flush. Now, Ben Johnson, I'm worried about his kicking, the young fellow. He's a good player. I like what he brings to the table. He's only young, but he has dead set, turned it over a few times today, and it might be coming back again. Almost a mark taken. Vardy, this time he's on the deck. Hacked forward there by McGee. It's taken by Sears. Hand pass through traffic. They work it out. Getting involved in that was Collins again. Through the middle of Claremont Oval. Long kick. Outlet kick. Will it sit for Rebellion? Taps it to his own advantage. Puts a foot on the afterburners. And they get one at the other. And no, he's hit the post. We've had 2 posters in about 10 minutes. That is terrible by both teams. Whoa, he's kicked it along the ground. He's bent it. There's no need for that boy.
You sound a bit like Jason Dunstall there.
There's
going
no
with
need
the...
for that kid. Kick the bloody thing. The game's 150 years old. Kick it like you normally kick it.
The disappointing thing with that is the link-up play through the middle from the Eagles Waffle was outstanding. We've seen them in past weeks where the handball's always been under pressure to a guy under pressure. That was real attacking flair with the handball.
Yeah, and the hand pass there has missed its target. Yeah. Oh.
And for those that watch Waffle footy, on Thursday night they saw a clinic of goal kicking in the first quarter with Ben Sokol. No matter where he was lining up from, just beautiful straight drop punts. There's nothing wrong with a beautiful straight drop
punt. There was no need for that. There was no need. Billy did all the hard work, knocked it to his own advantage, put the foot on the gas, and that would have really hurt. It would have been a double goal against the manual miss at the other end. So that's a very, very big opportunity miss. But anyway, we're back under play. We have been for a couple of minutes, so I'll stop waxing lyrical about nothing. People would just be getting annoyed as they do. It doesn't take much to annoy people nowadays. Bentley was wrapped up in is lurking, should I say. We'll have another ball up left half forward. 63 plays 52. We've gone 5 minutes thanks to Hungry Jacks.
We have mentioned it a few times as well. It's been 2 really strong attacking teams or attacking game plans. They've been prepared to take the game on. It's been a real good game of footy, guys.
Yeah, I like this. And I think when the West Coast Eagles players play with a little bit of freedom, I reckon they play as a happier group, mind you. And they've been under siege from everyone sort of bagging them out because of the results and their lack of impact on games and stuff like that. Well, they look like they're just playing with a bit more freedom. Vardy and Hutchings have been outstanding. We know Connor West has been good. And their top-up players seem to be riding on the back of that, which is good news. And they look like they're a happier bunch today and they're getting reward on the scoreboard.
And I think the other thing where it's working is to see guys like Harry Edwards, Luke Edwards getting games. West with another handball out. The process is working the way that they want it to.
Correct. And look, you don't want to get walloped, and you don't want as many top-up players. But when you've got 10 and 11 injuries to your senior players, and there's 1,007 games missing from your 11 of your best 18 or best 23 players today, this weekend. That's 1,000 games missing, of which leaks its way back down into the competition.
Here's a chance. Good effort from Hanson there.
Yeah, Sears is also there. Getting back Lim, tackled strongly by Rebellion. He was dumped to the ground. No free kick. Martinez picks it up. He will just come out of the congestion. They get it to the wing. Manuel, hand pass brilliantly knocked down by Jalen McGee. Looks up. He needs a target. Inside 50. Well done, Jalen McGee. The ball comes back out. Here's Rebellion. He went for the little deft touch. That is really good stuff by the son of Ken. And there it is. Just read it beautifully. Read it like a cheap novel. And the delivery, well, it wasn't too bad. They got the stoppage as Vardy runs across to the ruck contest. I'm really liking Nathan Vardy's output today. Been outstanding.
And McGee is another one we've mentioned a couple of times, but he's done a lot against the former club.
Yep, him and Nitschke. Tap down, Edwards. It looks like he's got a job on West. They run past the contest. Brayshaw gets around, of course, over the footy. Oh, well done. Another hand pass, Rebellion. Hacked forward by Connor West. Didn't quite strike it all that well. Quick kick out of the congestion by Claremont. Wide kick, missed kick. Out of bounds on the full. They want it back in quickly. And here it is with Lennon Marlin. Plays on quickly. Makes good ground. Big spiral, if you don't mind. Top of the square. There's no mark taken. Going to ground, Garland. Under pressure, the Tigers' defence. Bailey Rogers over the footy. Hug over the top of him. Taken out of there by Kane Mitchell. Threw it on the boot. Comes out. Almost a mark. Oh, good mark, Ty Sears.
Yeah, very good mark from Sears. That last one with Connor West, first time I've noticed him fumble so far. That's the other part that's been really good. He's been clean throughout the game, Connor West.
Kick by Ty Sears. Is there a flyer? Where's Vardy when you need him? He doesn't mark it this time. Again, Rebellion. Vardy now in the role of Rover. It's around his bootstraps. It's a long way down when you're 6'6". As the errant baller comes out of the congestion. Hand pass to the back. It was picked up beautifully by the Tigers. Taken by Hardesty. They get it out now. Here it goes. It's coming out to the youngster who's been very impressive today. They work it out. That's Anderson. Comes to the middle of the ground. It's going to come back, though. A little fend off. There's a throw. There's a throw. The umpire spotted it. Hutchings was off to the races. Not too sure who threw it to him. Was it Brayshaw? I'm not exactly sure, but in the end, Claremont have it through on the wing. They work it out. Here is Martinez. Hand pass over the top. Here's England. Has a runner inside. Hand pass was too much on it. Taking the dive at Patmore. One who doesn't take it off is West. Get him a game next week. They've got the bye next week. Imagine if his first game is against Richmond. How good would that be for Connor West? Short. He got it from Hutchings. They're racking up the stats here. They work it out. I think it's Collins down the line. Good use of the footy. And the mark's been taken by Brayshaw.
It is a key thing, I think, the soldiers that are coming back, because Hutchings has been good today. Vardy's now had a few runs. West has shown an enormous amount in this game. So good to have that pressure coming from the waffle going up.
Check his stats if we can. Connor West, we're keeping an eye on him. He's had a big week and he's delivered beautifully in his first game for the Waffle Eagles.
Up to 20 and 5 tackles.
That's not one of his better ones. That's out of bounds on the full. 5 tackles, the goal, the bullocking work, and I reckon they've run a man to him now. I reckon Edwards is trying to do a shutdown roll on him, which is again, another feather in his cap. Mitchell gets it. They went it through the middle of the ground. Oh, that's a late bump. It's inside 50. Punched away. Buller going to ground. Good footy.
Sumich.
Oh, well done, Sumich. Really good stuff. Did well, spoiled it, then followed up the good work, and they work it out to the wing. And the mark's been taken out here by Pornich.
He's actually been quite good in defence. Serviceable Sumich. Not something that we're used to with a Sumich name deep in defence.
Hand passes over the top. Runs on, running in Garland. Oh, heavens above. Heavens above ×2. Again, didn't run at the goal. Was aiming to bend it. Player went down. Hamp tried to feign a free. Well done, Rabida. There's the Hungry Jacks replay. Why couldn't he have run straight at the goal? Why could he not have run straight at the goal? That is terrible. That's 2 set running goals from Gold Square. They've missed.
Yeah, credit to Declan Mountford, though. Didn't give up on that one. Just put that little bit of pressure. Could have been a free.
Pushed him in the back, there's no doubt.
Again, he's there to put the pressure on. If he doesn't put the pressure on, Garlett runs to the goal line and we're not talking about a point.
That is terrible. That is 2 set running, not set shots, running shots. And guess what? It might be coming back the other way, and it will be. Over the top. Oh, falling over. I think it might have been Patmore. There's the hack-out kick. Here comes the young fella who's been very good, Anderson. Anderson kick around the corner. He's bending it back. He can't bend it back far enough. The margin's back out to 11 points.
It's catching, because again, Anderson had the time. You could have just straight and steady, kicked a drop punt straight through the middle.
The only difference is he was 40 metres out. The other 2 blokes were a combined 15 metres out.
And Sumich was with the hack off the ground to try and relieve the pressure. Again, he's had a good couple of minutes, Zane Sumich.
Johnson, straight up the middle, finds a man. And here it is, Marlon. Short to guess who? Short again, outside defensive 50. Pornich hand pass down the line. Spots up and they just get it through, and it comes up now to Deegan, who's marked it far side of the ground. Thanks to Hungry Jacks. Hope you're enjoying the live stream courtesy of the West Coast Eagles. Claremont do hold an 11-point lead, but this has been a marked improved effort by the West Coast Eagles waffle. Daniel Pratt and everyone involved, hats off to them. They're playing with a lot more freedom. Skill errors still has cost them. In fact, without the skill errors, they could very well be in front. Mitchell, hand pass, just got away with it. The Tigers through the middle. Here he is again. Taking his eye off at Martinez. Tackled strongly by Bentley. Umpire says advantage, play on. It's coming back through the middle. Alvarez fell over. Deegan didn't. Oh, they got into the back of him. That should have almost been a free kick against Hardesty. And the umpire said, no, that's a lucky let-off. And now it's going to be another ball up. Just forward of the centre circle. West Coast Eagles end of the ground.
Probably just lacking a bit of forward presence now. The last couple of times the midfielders have looked up, they just haven't had anyone that's really been able to present. A lot of the goals have come from those small forwards. That's probably the one part that Daniel Pratt and his team is lacking right now.
Big up and under kick to half forward. Collins did well again over the footy. Oh, it's a high tackle, and that was a Cam Anderson tackle. Then he's gone. He goes on with it. It should be almost 50 metres. He's gone at Johnson after giving up the 50. Connor West coming in. There it is there. So there's no doubt about this. So there's the left-down coat hanger. And then he goes back in for more there, right there. Well, I mean, why would you? And if you're the umpire, pay 50. That's exactly what 50 metres is for. It's all right to say get up, but the damage has been done.
Yeah, no, I would have thought it was a fairly obvious 50, but umpire didn't see it that way.
And guess what?
But now we're going to get a 50 here for a guy taking one step.
They get the tedious 50 metres, but they don't get the physical 50. Anyway, Charlie McGee's done some good things right here.
I think he sniffs the goal here. He was running in like he was just going to keep going and take the long shot.
He's 100 to 1 to kick a goal from here, Jalen McGee. So he's going to pass it off and he goes short. And Cooper Nitschke is lining up for his 4th goal. He plays on with a quick hand pass on 50 metres. Quick kick, poor kick, missed kick, out of bounds on the full kick.
Well, Cooper Nitschke had that shot from a similar spot in the first quarter, didn't get the distance or sprayed it to the left. So maybe that was going through his head. But probably, again, just that not clinical enough inside forward 50.
In front of the Coastal Orthopaedics. That's my wife works for Coastal Orthopaedics. I just saw the sign there.
Cheap plug, Goss.
Well, no, don't forget West Coast Physio and High Performance. Tex Perkins out there, who are in conjunction with Coastal Orthopaedics at the based at our Mineral Resources Park ground. Here's Nitschke again. Geez, being delicate. There's the kick and there's Hug, who owns the pocket. This is the Hug pocket. He kicked 2 in the first, probably on a tighter angle, and he's going to be lining up for his 3rd goal is Kieran Hug, the Hug boy.
And good play from Ethan Hansen. He was the one that sort of set that little play up on the inside, tapped it to his own advantage, gave the handball to Nitschke, and then Nitschke finding a unmarked Hug. And again, he's kicked the 2 with a snap. How's he going to go with a drop punt? I've assumed this is going to be a drop punt.
If he doesn't kick a drop punt, I'm going to throw down these headphones and we're out. He'll go a drop punt. No worries about that. From 40 metres out, kick on goal. That's a lovely kick for goal by Kieran Hug. He owns that pocket. Good on you, fella. I like that. That's his 3rd goal. And West Coast get back within a goal. 8-11-59 to 10-4-64. And once again, they're owning this 3rd quarter. Outstanding effort by the West Coast Eagles against a very good team, Claremont.
And if you want a little bit of an omen for Eagles fans in this last quarter, so the first win they ever had was at this very ground, Claremont Oval, 12-5 to 11-9. Very similar game to this. And a similar sort of team where they just had a couple of new players in and had a bit of energy about it. So history may be repeating, Goss.
You're getting into early camp, Farmer. I like your style. 64-59, we've got the close one.
And interestingly, they've played. This is the 3rd time they've played at this venue. The other one was the first semi-final. Claremont won that one by a kick. So they've been 3 very, very close games between the Claremont and Eagles Waffle team here at Revo Fitness Stadium.
Look at you rattling off all your stats just in case they go to the they fall to the ground. There's another 2nd ball up in the middle of the ground.
Got to get them all in where you can.
You do, right? Because there's a lot of work that goes to the cutting room floor, isn't there? You've worked that out.
Yeah, and apparently I've got to go and grab the cutting room floor for Jared Gardner for the Waffle Show as well at the end of it.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure he's watching. Here's Hutchings, been okay. Hacked it forward to half. Forward, little deft touch here by the Tigers, trying to get through. Hand pass round to the back of a teammate, Martinez. Here's Hug off the left. An errant kick, a bounce to Garlett. He took his eye off the... Here's Brayshaw. Oh, he got taken high from behind. Does he get a free kick? No, he didn't get one. Hardesty, Manuel, out of the congestion here. Over the top. Martinez, sorry, not Manuel. Over the top to Bolton. He goes up, he runs, he tries to straighten it up on the wing. Kicks it down the line, missed its target, juggle. And the mark's been taken by Collins. In fact, it's Sumich. Sumich comes inboard. Now it is Collins, the high stepper. In fact, it's now Lennon Marlin. Quick kick inside 50. Oh, bounce to the ball, eludes everybody. Comes towards Hamp, and also Garland over the line and out of play. We'll have a throw in. West Coast get the stoppage. They trail by 5 points.
If you're Daniel Pratt, you're getting Kieran Hug at the bottom of this contest. Yeah. This is the Hug pocket.
Clear out the zone and just leave Hug one-on-one.
So that was the end
of the same spot.
I was going to say that's the end of a stalemate. It was 14 minutes before a goal in this 3rd quarter, and that came to the Eagles Waffle. Again, probably some reward for effort.
Comes to the back of the pack. Here is Bentley. Back feeds a hand pass outside 50. Brayshaw was taken to ground. Needed to get the ball on quicker. Mark's been taken. Here is the man I mentioned. Manuel's kicked a couple of goals. Did miss a set shot from the goal square. Oh, the push off too easy. Buller got rid of Carey. Threw it on the boot. It's a foot race inside the square. Oh, good mark. Very good mark. England opposed to our man, of course, in Johnson. And it will be going back and lining up for goal.
And like in the first half, they're just a little bit more dangerous and a little bit more clinical going inside 50. They were able to work the open forward line to their advantage, and Callan England getting in behind the defence. Good effort from Johnson on the follow-up, but well worked by Callan England. Got his body in the right position and took a very good mark.
Lining up for goal. A bit of a settler for the Tigers, who lead by 5 points. Kick on goal. Good goal. That's another one. So he gets his 2nd. He got one in the first quarter and one in the 3rd. Just a few people have been asking, where's Callum Jamieson? He was named, I'm pretty sure, in this team, but didn't make the final cut. He might be having the week off. He was good last week when playing down back.
He was. So late out, I do believe, for Jamieson this week. Callan England, he's had goals, as we said, in every game so far, 11 overall. He was third in the team in goals, and that's been the other part, Clement. I think they've got 2 each now from Buller, England and Manuel. And they're the 3 that have sort of, I guess, surprised a few people this year by being so potent up forward.
Yeah, very much so. Well, they're chasing, of course, another win. Of course, on the back of their only loss so far has been to Subiaco. Subiaco had the big win over Perth at Mineral Resources Park.
The other one, Bolton, so averages 36 disposals against the Eagles Waffle team, is up to 28 today as well. So he's probably going to go past his average against the Eagles with a big second half so far for Bolton.
Here is West, goes in and grabs it. A hand pass to Brayshaw, hand pass back out. Bentley, inside 50, Clement under pressure. Good mark back with the flight, landing heavily over the top of Hughes, and that's a good mark by Dylan Smallwood.
It was a Smallwood pulling off a big mark.
Yep, and he landed heavily, did not have anywhere to fall but flat on his back. Goes short to Martinez. Now let's play on umpire. He's actually 3 metres off his line there. Goes short to Bolton. Left calf heavily strapped. I think it's more of a cork calf or an old man's injury. Not too sure. Straight up the middle. Oh, drops the mark, but playing on. They're coming away with that. Of course, is Anderson on to boots. Had his moments today. Up through the middle. Hamp gets it on to the run of Edwards. Edwards now locked inside 50. Over the top of the pack. Running onto a Barton. Oh, he overruns the footy. He went too far. The ball got stuck in the mud and so did his boots. And that's another lucky letter for our defenders, the West Coast Eagles. Here's the replay. It wouldn't sit for him there. The double skewed. He was going too quick. Finesse, Isaac. Finesse is what you needed. And the ball goes through for a minor score margin. 2 straight goals.
It's been 4 misses from inside 25 metres between the 2 teams.
Incredible. Sam Alvarez inside 50. And the mark's been taken by McGee. He's had a very good quarter. Looking more like his old man every day. Ken McGee.
Oh, no. Disappointing kick.
Off a step. And West, and he was backpedaling for West and running onto it, Bailey Rogers. He's a good footballer, Bailey Rogers. Here it is here. It's off a 1-step kick. And they didn't really work that out. I mean, really, True and West both sort of stood there waiting for it. And in the end, Bailey Rogers said, well, boys, if you're going to stand there, I'm going to attack the footy. And he's lining up for a goal.
And we've seen it a couple of times, just those skill errors in the back 50 have hurt the Eagles Waffle when they've had the momentum, when they've had things going their way. First quarter, we saw Hutchings. This is, I guess, a routine chance now for Bailey Rogers. It's all come about because of a skill error in that back 50.
Yeah, and he's done most of his work in the back half, as he does. But Bailey Rogers from 48 metres out kicks it long and kicks it wide, going for the extra distance. Margin back to 13 points, 72 plays 59.
Speaking of Hutchings, he's up to 20 possessions, second behind West, who's at the 25. So that's a really good sign for the Eagles senior team and senior coach Adam Simpson for Hutchings to get so much.
Brayshaw's been good this week too. Very good. He's got that right knee heavily strapped. He goes short, and here's West again. West will go wide.
Look forward to hearing what Hammer has to say on Coast to Coast this week and playing with Connor West, perhaps.
Yeah, very much so. Of course, we didn't hear from Oscar Allen on the weekend during the week. He was unwell. He's out there today around the group, which is great news for Oscar after that heavy tumble. Trying to take mark of the century. Here is Brayshaw, trying to squeeze out the hand pass. Hat forward by Nitschke, makes 25 valuable metres on the far wing. The flip up is good. The flip up came there from Patman. There's the kick. Patmore, should I say. Here's loose. Here is Rogers. Had a set shot a moment ago. Closing in. Hand pass over the top. Here he is again. Patmore around the corner, kicks the goal.
Good finish from Patmore there, and just again, weight of numbers, the amount of entries that they've been getting, they've gotten a little bit more, I guess, reward for it, Claremont, and they go out to a 19-point lead, Goss.
They do, and there it is there, and again, it's a bit from Bailey Rogers, who's attacking the footy. Is the general down in that back line, in that back half, and that's another goal. So this is almost the biggest lead in the game now for Claremont. And this is where West Coast, I'd like to see them hang on. There's losing and there's losing, and we understand that their top-up players probably don't have the efforts and the second and third efforts when they start to fatigue like our AFL-listed players. But it's very important now that there's no blowout from here on in. Maybe the game's gone, 19 points, 23 gone, but as Hamish Brayshaw said, you've got to stay in games longer and not get blown away. And that's what they'll be hoping, I'm sure, Daniel Pratt and the coaching staff.
It is, in fact, a game-high lead. The Eagles led by 17 points at one point. So if you look at that, it's been almost a 6-goal turnaround. So Claremont have worked really hard to get back in it, but they've had to. And that's the pleasing thing, I think, for the Eagles is that they have pushed a really good Claremont side for the best part of 3 quarters.
And they are dead set running on top of the ground now. The Tigers kick inside 50, punched away. It's going to come back out. Here's Deegan. Does really, really well. Joey Deegan up the middle of the ground. Well, pulling up short. I'm not too sure who that was. In fact, it was Nitschke. And in the end, they're going to get it back here, West Coast. They're going to get out. And now he's coming up to 30 touches, Connor West. You said his career high is 35. Brayshaw inside the Garlett. He missed his target. Where's Kieran Hug when you need him in the bloody pocket? There it is there, going to ground. That's almost a push in the back. He wanted a free kick. Mountford looked up the umpire almost in mid-push in the back phase to say to the umpire, what about a free? He was pretty lucky he didn't get one. Here it is here. And that is a push in the back, if there is a push in the back against Hanson. Very unlucky. Look at him, look up Mountford saying, well, hang on. That's a bit of a traditional push in the back if I've seen one.
Yeah, I think the umpire may have been sort of blindsided to it, looking up the back. So
okay.
We'll give him a benefit on that one, guys.
Okay, fair enough too. Oh, there's the big fella over the shoulder with the left. Didn't quite get there. Under pressure, hacked forward and out of bounds, I think, on the 4-pointage. Again, it's coming back and Claremont going to get the free kick. So Connor West, which we've talked a lot about, but he's just been one of the great shining lights of this game. His career high coming in is 35.
Is that 27 so far?
Is that all? I thought he would have got a couple more than that since then.
Maybe the 28th is still uploading, Goss, but 27, 28. So, but look, he's still on track to break that career best record.
And it's not just disposals. I mean, for the best part, he's used the ball very well as well. Wide kick, good mark taken. Collins got run underneath the footy by running through as Manuel. He gets it to the wing. The last goal kicker, Patmore, calls a player to come at him now. Kicks it long down the line. It's not a mark. It's over Buller. And arriving late was Sumich and sees it over the line and out of play. Good to have Zane Sumich and the name Sumich at the West Coast Eagles. I know a lot of Eagles fans will be happy that that name is back around the football club, and that's fantastic for Zane. And I know his dad would be very, very proud of the fact is that his son is wearing Eagles colours, albeit at the waffle level.
Inside 50, still the Eagles with a 14 inside 50 lead, 44 to 30. So though they trail, they have had more of the ball inside 50.
They certainly have, and they've had some deep entries as well, but they haven't been able to connect on it. Here is Garlett, Mitchell, boundary, throw in far side of the ground. 78 plays 59. We've gone 26 minutes. Tim Gossage and Cam Palmer with you on the live stream, wherever you're watching. Hope you're enjoying the action.
I think that's the part for Daniel Pratt with the disappointment of a couple of the performances this year. You're excited by the performance they've put on, but you do feel like they've left a couple of goals out there.
No doubt.
They really probably should be in front of this game, you'd say.
Yeah, and they won't be happy with that, and they won't be taking honourable losses at all, because this is a game that with a few connections, mind you, Claremont have left a few out there as well, in particular in this quarter, that, of course, West Coast could have easily been in front. And in this quarter in particular, where they missed 2 goals from basically the top of the goal square.
And without going too deep into it, but you see the difference just by adding a couple of extra pieces that are ready-made waffle players, with Sumich, who's played a lot of waffle and even waffle reserves footy, Collins, who's played the few games, and Connor West. It's a different team if you can just add a few players that have got those hardened waffle bodies.
And once the top teams start to get a few of their troops back, it will bleed its way down through our sort of waffle team. But at the same time, the one thing to do, the top-up players who have got a bit of stick, I would say, and unfairly, they've done a fantastic job, and their job is just to play their role and allow the Eagles listed players to do big things. And this man has stepped up today. He's been very good. He can't be unhappy with his output. He's been outstanding.
Yeah, you can see he's probably battling there over the ground. He's worked himself very hard in this contest as Nathan Vardy.
Yeah, and kicks it long, and he's cleared the pack, and the mark's been taken at the back of the pack by Carter. A mini taste of AFL with the Fremantle Football Club. Wide to Pat Moore's got a player inside. Oh, Bentley was sweating on him. He was not gutsy enough to lay the tackle. Up through the middle, Smallwood. Now they come, a long kick inside 50. Quick entry, bouncing of the ball they need. Oh, getting back, very well done by Nitschke. In fact, it was McGee who got it to Brayshaw. They worked it out nicely. Sears over the top with the right to pokey kick to the wing. Is that our man? I think it might be Connor West. It is. He marks it again.
Another really good mark. He's taken a couple of really good sort of contested situation marks.
Yeah, well, everywhere he goes, he's got someone on his tail. He doesn't get a lot of free space, Connor West. He does a lot of the hard work. Garlett's had some moments too. He goes short and the siren sounds. And the West Coast Eagles are still in this contest, down by 19 points at the last change. We'll take a check of our goal kickers and our scorers, of course, but at three-quarter time, it is Claremont, who are 12-6-78, West Coast 8-11, and of course that is 59. Our goal kickers for the West Coast Waffle, we'll keep an eye on that one because it is our live stream, so we can get our goal kickers away first. 3 to Hug, beautiful 3 goals all at the one end. Kupinitsky with 3, singles to Pornich, Connor West as well. They are our goal kickers. And for Claremont, 2 to Anderson, 2 to Buller, 2 to England, 2 to Manuel, and 2 to Patmore, and singles to Bolton and Edwards. It's three-quarter time. Claremont 12-6-78. West Coast are 8-11-59. 19 points to the Tigers. Hope you're enjoying the action from Revo Fitness Stadium at Claremont Oval, courtesy of Hungry Jacks.
Players' career and journey is glamorous and rock and roll, and you play every single game. And
to come out here and play a professional sport in a different country is kind of what you dream of.
I think from my perspective, it's always been a battle. Sometimes I do win and I get into the AFL team, and sometimes I don't.
We always did the same kind of things growing up.
Fights are behind closed doors.
Welcome back to Revo Fitness Stadium, Claremont Oval as we like to call it, and it is 12-6 to 8-11, 78 plays 59. If you're an Eagles fan, you're tuning in for the first time on our live stream, you'd be happy with this. They have been simply outstanding. A lot of wasted opportunities, more inside 50 entries. Tim Gossage and Cam Palmer taking a look at some feature stats at three-quarter time.
Yeah, story of the day for the Eagles waffle team has been Connor West. Started strongly and has continued throughout. 28 possessions to lead, all from West Coast. He's also got the goal and has laid 6 tackles. Brayshaw is up to 22. Mark Hutchings has had 20. Joey Deegan, 17. He's been very good as well. And Zane True's worked his way into the game as well. He's had 14. The 3 goals to Hug and Nitschke. For Claremont, Bolton has had 32.
He just creeps up
Roger,
on you, Bolton.
27.
32, doesn't he? Just creeps up. He just creeps up. His work rate is exceptional.
We did mention off air, though, I would take Connor West 28 over Bolton 32.
That'll get back.
Yeah, Connor, but just the poise that Connor West has shown in his run and carry, he's been very, very good today, Connor West. If you look at the team stats, possessions, Claremont 298 to 233. The inside 50s has been the big one. 44 to West Coast, only 31 to Claremont. Hit-outs, really good battle between Vardy and Eastland. 28 to Claremont, 20 to the West Coast Eagles waffle team. And that conversion rate's the other one that stands out. 67% to Claremont, 42% to the Eagles. Tackle count, 41 to 37. It has been an exciting game that's been played on the outside.
Yeah, it's been a really good game of footy, and there's just been that class difference maybe with Claremont, obviously training and playing together more often than not, but West Coast, much improved, but very important that they hang in there for this last quarter and they're not blown away. If not, they never know. They might be able to cause an upset. That 12-6 is certainly Claremont's way. Hutchings, a definite little touch to Rabilliard, off a step, inside 50. Could be another fast start for the West Coast Eagles. Inside the forward 50, tackled strongly to ground was Brayshaw. Another strong tackle by Hug. It comes back out to the Tigers. Oh, good bump. It was by Hanson. Brayshaw kicked it off the ground. Tripling ball. What a great start to the last quarter.
Yeah, all set up by Ethan Hansen. Great little bump that sort of knocked the Claremont player off his kick. And then Hamish Brayshaw, well, he couldn't kick him any other way than just soccer it through. So really good bump there on Kane Mitchell. And he looks like he's a bit sore out of that as well.
Well, he didn't see it coming because Kane Mitchell's normally very good ball to boot. Good mates with Luke Shuey, of course, and I'm sure he'll be telling him about it. Hamish Brayshaw can't kick a set shot from 25, Hammer, but he can certainly soccer one out of nowhere, and that is the perfect start to the last quarter by the Eagles.
If you've joined us late, this is how the game has progressed throughout it. The West Coast Eagles waffle have been outstanding early in quarters before Claremont's class and, I guess, ability to work and play out the full quarters. They've always seemed to come back. So we'll see what happens this time, but a good start. The margin down to 13 points.
I'm not too sure whether Kane Mitchell's still out there. Alvarez has just come in onto the wing just in front of us, standing in front of next to Zane True, and I don't think Mitchell's around there, so that bump that Hansen got him, blindsided him, could have laid the tackle. He chose to bump. Vardy almost took it out of the air. He should have almost grabbed it. Rogers, hand pass. Running onto it is Alvarez, now with the left, kicks it wide, missed its target. In fact, it's cleared the boundary line, that's out of bounds on the full.
That centre stoppage for the Eagles waffle team as well. It had Vardy, it had Garlett, it had Connor West, so 3 people that wouldn't have been in there if you look back a few weeks ago. So good to see some troops coming back for the Eagles waffle team.
Zane Sumic, just out of picture there, long down the line. Vardy, if you missed it, took an absolute huge mark in that last quarter. It was an absolute towering mark, far side of the ground. You'll see that, I'm sure. They'll be talking about that on the Waffle Review with Jared Gardner and Hammer Brayshaw, and he'll be talking about it, I'm sure, on Coast to Coast. Hacked forward into the 50, although it's hacked it the wrong way here, the West Coast Eagles, and they're out. Stewart's very quick of hand, gets it out. There's another strong bump, Garlett on Edwards. West Coast are in for the fight here. There's Garlett, back feeds a hand pass again. Think it's taken forward by Deegan, quick inside 50. No mark, Brayshaw comes to the back of the pack. It's Lim was involved there. Now it's coming, just can't keep a handle on it. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Boundary line, boundary umpire says out. And well done by Pornich, forced it over. I'm not so sure that Decky Mountford thought it was out. We'll have a throw in about 40 metres around, West Coast end of the ground, and they're back in the game, just 13 points down.
Forward pressure's been very good throughout, and Pornich there, another indication of that.
Very much so. Eastland up, wins it down. There it is, Hamp. Good tackle by Hansen. Quick kick out of the congestion. West Coast, bad bounce for Vardy, but he attacked the footy, which was good. Zane True couldn't stick that tackle. Under pressure, again Alvarez, who's onto the game. He went Buller That's almost holding the ball. Buller threw the ball away when he was tackled. He almost did a 360 and shimmied and shake McGee without even having a player even there. Have a look at here. He almost does a... Look, he goes to fend off and there was no one there. Went the double fend off. No, he does get a handball in. I'll give him that excuse. He went to fend off and he wasn't close enough. Interesting stuff. Eastland over the footy, does well. Edwards, boundary line, another stoppage in front of our commentary spot. We'll have a throw in.
McGee wasn't quite as close as he thought, obviously. He thought he was going to cover him a bit more.
Needed the go-go gadget arms, needed the dusty. Anyway, Eastland and Vardy been a good contest. Nathan Vardy been to the top of the tree in AFL. Eastland is a rising young star of this competition. Nitschke does well, 3 goals in that second quarter. Kick out around the corner, not a great kick, a punch away. Oh, Garlett does really well, gets it up and then can't get his hands on the to knock it over. And it was a strong tackle by Mountford. And Garlett, I like what he's done. I like his attack on the footy, and I reckon he's looking more comfortable in just his second game for the club.
It's because he hasn't had a huge amount of the ball. I think he's only up to the 7 or 8 possessions, but it feels like he's done more with those possessions.
Yeah, he's got a real physical presence about him, hasn't he? He's really wanting to get to the contest. Again, here's West Coast again. Now it's hacked forward by Deegan. Top of the square. They need a bounce. Hanson is there. Brayshaw is there. Again, over the footy is Smallwood. And Brayshaw is really creating some havoc up there. The big body. He's loving this. Hammer Brayshaw. Of course, the name synonymous to the Claremont Football Club. His dad's name and photos on the board. His grandfather played in the Premiership. And I think his uncle James also played in the Claremont Reserves Premiership.
And the spirit of the team's been really good from the Eagles waffle today as well. They've had some really good, heavy impacts on the contest.
Hutchings has got to get there on limb. He does well. Comes to Pornich. Throw it on the boots and up and under kick underneath it. No mark taken. Claremont getting out through England. Gets to Edwards. Edwards with the right. He could have gone with the left. He's kicked it, but it's been intercepted by Vardy. And I'm sure Adam Simpson, the coaching staff, would be absolutely thrilled with the output of Nathan Vardy. Kick down the line. Oh, he took his eye off it there, Garlett. Eventually the ball trickles over the line. Right on the 50, where the 50 joins the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in.
Not his best kick there, Ben Edwards coming out, but he's been quite good for Claremont today as well. Like the game of Ben Edwards.
Yeah, Scotty Edwards' son. Scotty, of course, played a lot of games at Claremont and also played for the Fremantle Football Club. Vardy up, wins it down, taken by Bolton, close to the contest. Quick kick out of the back half. Sumich tries to slip under the tackle. Did really well, Sumich. Hand pass it back. He's going to get it back here, Sumich. No, he gets caught out of it. Taken out by Deegan. Back feeds a hand pass to Johnson. Johnson kick around the corner. Missed everything. Out of bounds on the full. He was under pressure. It's going to be brought back in by Alvarez. So at the moment, a bit of a stalemate. 13 points to margin. We've gone 6 minutes last quarter.
Yeah, Sumich is another one that's really worked into the game. I've liked his second half, and you saw it there, just that little bit more of a mature body, and he's played a lot of reserves footy down at South Fremantle. He's played a league game as well down there, and he's certainly added to the back half of the Eagles today.
Yeah, good release too by South Fremantle. If the boy's not going to get opportunities, he wants to play, and this is his opportunity right here at this level with West Coast. Of course, his dad, a dual premiership player, champion full forward, Peter Sumich. It's coming back now.
I think it's probably fair to say that Zane's probably
50 metres. And I'm not exactly sure why, but it might have been a player in the corridor. Hug doesn't know what's going on. I'm not too sure. It's against Kupanitski. And Jai Bolton giving Kupanitski a bit of a hug for being inside the sort of the protected area. And I mean, to me, that's okay. But if he's not impacting or any play's impacting, I just don't see the sense of it. Anyway, 50 metres, and the rule's the rule.
I think they've given a double 50.
Yeah, so do I.
Because that's gone from a long way.
No, it's 100.
Yeah.
It's a double. So Kupanitski, I reckon, has been pinged. And I don't want to throw Cooper under the bus, but there might be a verbal involved with that as well. But anyway, good on the umpires. They have their impact on the game. The margin's back out to 19 points. Can't bag them, but I have 84 plays 65, 7 minutes gone. And that was a very, very big penalty, and that no doubt is a double 50.
While on the Zane Sumich, would we say that in one game he spent more time in the back half than his old man played over a full career?
Not so sure about that, because his dad played a fair bit of... I think originally started as a defender.
There you go. Certainly from my memory of those...
I'm pretty sure he was a full-back at South Fremantle.
There you go. So maybe the apple has fallen close to the tree on that one. He's going to start out as a defender down here, and who knows what may happen for Zane Sumich as he progresses with this Eagles waffle team. But look, disappointing when again you've worked so hard through the first 6 or 7 minutes of the fourth quarter, and then something like that is what sort of gives Claremont that little edge that they're looking for.
Must be also noted that Peter Sumich was a very good spin bowler. He was a state under-19s spin bowler. Anyway, back through the middle, more on the game, and it's Bolton. Quick kick out. So that could be a bit of a foot off the throat moment there. A double 50 against the West Coast Waffle. Here's Bolton. 84 plays 65. Back out to a 19-point lead on the goal from Hardesty.
So Bolton averages 36 against the Eagles. That was his 36th touch today.
Yeah, and there it is there. Trickling ball. Collins. Hamp is there. In fact, it's not. It's Miller. There's Barton. He was legged and he's going to go back and get a free kick. Or is it going to be a free... No, it is going to be a free kick to Barton. Right on the boundary line.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky there. Just sort of put the arm out. You've seen those times, they sometimes don't get paid. On this occasion, has been paid. And Barton's going to try and screw it around the body. Yeah, and does. And he does it well. And that's a goal. So a bit of a game changer right there. 2 goals in a space of about 90 seconds, and that lead is now out to a game-high 25 points. 90 plays 65. And thanks to Hungry Jacks, he didn't mess about, and he was allowed to play on. Collins was standing the mark, but it wouldn't have mattered what he could do on that mark. 14-6 to 9-11, and this is the messaging that I think West Coast would be wanting to get to their players. Hang in there. Yes, you might not be getting the win, but we don't want this to be a 10-goal blowout. Saw it against... East Perth at Leederville Oval. We've seen it against South Fremantle in one quarter where they gave up 7 goals to a point. We don't want to see it today. They've been very, very good for 3 quarters and we don't want to blow out on the scoreboard. Going into today, Claremont had 4 guys that had kicked goals in every game. Manuel, Buller, England, they'd all kicked 2 each. The 4th was Barton. He's got his first goal of the day. So the 4 of them have continued the streak for 1 more week. And I can confirm with you, Peter Sumich's first 10 games under John Todd at West Coast, fullback. There you go. So Zane is falling in good footsteps. Following his dad's footsteps. Here's the big fella. I don't know if we can ever imagine an AFL player kicking 111.91 or whatever it was that he kicked 200 scoring shots in a season. It'd be great to see, but I can't see it happening. Absolutely not now. So Claremont, Subiaco are going to hang in there. Connor West has gone very quiet. I don't know whether... He's still out there. I just saw him in the back. Oh, that's a high tackle against Hagen. No, umpire said, no, that's okay. Tell you what, that was a high tackle in there. The replay will certainly show that. Look at the right hand here from Hug over the shoulder. Oh, he ducked, but mind you, that is still high every day of the week. Unlucky not to get a free kick here, the Tigers. Yeah, so Connor West is still on the 28 possessions. Yeah, we've mocked it in, haven't we? But the other part, which is, I think, really pleasing about his game, still leads the team in tackles. He's had 6 tackles as well. Joey Deegan, actually up to 5 tackles. He's had 20 possessions as well. Joey has had a pretty good second half as well. Bolton aiming for 40. He's hand-passed it back. Mitchell back out there. Yeah, good to see he's out there. Took a heavy bump early from Hanson. Gave up a goal, which was a soccer goal by Brayshaw. Down the line, good mark, and the mark's been taken by Bolton. This is coming up for position number 37 for 45 by the end of it. Don't worry about that. And this guy's been good as well, Callan England. He's just looked dangerous when they've gotten an inside 50 or in the forward half as well. Yeah, and there's his lookalike, Manuel. Sorry, not Manuel. Martinez in the short. That's a turnover to the goal kicker Hug, who's hit 3 goals to Johnson. Johnson goes straight up the middle, shows a fair bit of the footy. Mark's taken by Hutchings. He wants 50 metres against Martinez. Umpire says no, and Hutchings will go back and hand pass it on to the run of Johnson. They try to close him down from behind. He throws it on the boot. They need a mark, and they don't need Hamp to outmark it. And there's the breakdown right there and then. They just don't have a key forward who's clunking them. Well, 158 waffle games from Anton Hamp, and you've seen that experience a couple of times today. Just gets himself into good positions as a key defender, and it is the one part they've probably lacked, the Eagles waffle team, just that powerful centre-half or power forward that can impact the contest. Carey goes short, strong tackle on West. It was from Hamp. As that Carey pulled the kick, needed to either bang it long or find a target, and he's done neither. And in the end, they've turned it over. Involved in that out there, they've now worked it out. They're going to run it through a couple of bounces, far side of the ground to Bolton. He's got a player short. He's kicked it over the top. Just gets it to Mitchell. Mitchell has it. Mitchell looks up. Inside 50. Oh, the lead was from Eastland. Drops the mark. McGee took his eye off the footy. Tried to spin it before he got it. Bolton got it back to Mitchell. The veterans combine inside 50. No mark taken. Here's Sumich again. Straight up the middle. Hand pass to the run. They work it up through the middle here again. Mark's been taken here by Rebilliot. Almost tripped himself over. Comes wide to the members' wing. And here is Nitschke. We think he gave away 2 50s.
which certainly took the wind out of the sails of the Eagles. Here is Deegan. He went forward of his mark. Comes wide to centre half forward. Hansen, former Demon. Gets caught up now. He's forced to come wide again. Nitsky standing and waiting. They showed too much of the footy. Turnover again. Hamp combines. In fact, it wasn't. It was Miller. He combines with Lim. Kicks around the corner. Poor kick. Poor kick. It might be Sears this time. Long down the line. Geez, some poor kicking going on right here, right now. There's the quick kick. Hug doing well.
Yeah, his Hug's been really good, that defensive pressure. He's had a few really good acts on that. Having a look through, he's only got the 4 tackles, but feels like he's had more of an impact than that.
England and Alvarez combine. They get it out now. They go wide with the kick. Oh, getting across there. Oh, that's a good effort by Lennon Martin. Well done. Fantastic stuff. Lennon Martin, should I say. Goes short. Here it is. Pornich kicked the goal. They're showing a fair bit of the footy here. Brace short, middle of the ground, looks up, what's his offer? Hansen, no, in fact, Garlett over the top of Hamp, and that's a very good mark.
And again, great mark from Garlett, but you had a look inside 50, it was 4-on-1.
Yeah.
If Garlett doesn't mark that ball, you can see it's a sea of blue jumpers around him, and a very good contested mark over a very good defender who we were singing the praises of a couple of minutes ago, Anton Hamp.
Yeah, well, you were. Anton Hamp, of course, who was on the West Coast Eagles list. Good fella, Anton. And Garlett, it's just his 9th disposal, but he's just had a presence at stages throughout the day. He did miss his absolute put in the last quarter. So any sniff or fluker's chance of an upset, he needs to kick the goal.
No,
He's
waving
missed.
the arm just around to the left.
Just to the left. So they had their chances. We've ticked up close to 15 minutes midway through this the last quarter. Margin till 25 points to the Tigers. So they're going to, I think they're going to go on and win the game. But again, we talk about what the Eagles do in the next 15 minutes. One thing's for sure, we don't want the blowout. Here is from half back. It's taken here by Mountford. Down the line, Bolton. Punched away Sumich. Bolton gathers the footy, gets to Martinez, back to Rogers. So all the big, hard running and high stat getting midfielders. Taken high, no free kick. Loose hamper. Oh, below the knees. Umpire said no. It's coming to Rogers. He arches it back. Had a voice over the top. Here's Lim closing on 50. Ryan Lim, kick on goal. He's missed. Goal umpire spot on the target there. Through from minor score. Good build up. Not the result they wanted. Margin is back out to... What's that?
25.
25. Is that 25? Yeah, 25 points.
A couple of big weeks coming up for Claremont as well. They have Peel next week at Revo Fitness again before they have a bye. And then after the bye, they've got West Perth. So a couple of really big games coming up for Claremont. For the Eagles Waffle, bye next week. Subiaco in round 11. And the way Subiaco played on Thursday night against co-tenant Perth, that will be a tough one.
Well, it'll be tough, but we are expecting to get some troops back in our senior team. When the troops come back through the senior team, that aids our Waffle team as well. So there's a really lot to like about the future going forward here for our Waffle Eagles. A lot of the critics will be eating their words because they put this down as a 100-point win here today. There's no doubt about that. And they've been challenged at various stages here. Here it is, Martinez. And it's coming back now to Eastland. Hand pass through the middle.
Good pressure.
Hardesty, there's great pressure. Hug, hand pass through. Billiard met solidly. Didn't have it. Pick up by West. He frees himself up. Here is Garlett taken to ground. Squeezes the hand pass. Lim gets back for the Tigers. Again coming out there is Martinez. Goes short. Rack up Bolton. This is 40. Must be close. Lim, Bolton. Yeah, look at this. They're just waxing the ball. Hand pass. This is stat getting if I've ever seen it. There's Mitchell through the middle now. Here comes Rogers. All the big four combined. They need to mark in 50 and they do, and the small man gets it. Collins claims he got a touch on it. Not so, says Isaac Barton. He'll go lining up for goal. They just walk their way through the midfield.
Yeah, so you mentioned there about Bolton. He is, in fact, now up to 41.
Oh.
So he's just gone past
He could get 50, you know, because this is what he does late in games. Him and Mitchell and all the boys get together. He would be racking up stats. I reckon he might have had a 50 Waffle game before.
Just quickly around the grounds as well, the other Waffle game for today has started, and it's all square down at Rushton Park. Peel Thunder 1-3, Swan District's 1-3. Always a Swan District fan listening to the stream, Goss, so they're all square at the moment.
Okay, there's a miss by Barton. It's a long drive, isn't it, from Bassendean to Mandurah? And you've got to come back past Optus, the Dreamtime game there tonight.
It should be a cracker, so over 50,000 potentially.
Yeah,
the long
they'll get
walk,
58.
Yeah, the long walk has just commenced as well.
It's not a long walk, mate. They're going from the Wacker over the bridge. That's not a long walk. That's a short walk. But it is the long walk.
Oh, it depends which way you're going, because after you've had a few at Optus Stadium, it can be quite a long walk.
Ball goes over the line and out of play, and it's coming back. They're pretty happy with the effort there of young Anderson.
He's been really good. We've mentioned it a few times, and you know, when you're in your debut game, that's what you want to see. Look at that, fully extended.
I see a traditional smother on the Sears kick.
Well played by you, Goss. Well played.
On 50, 6,000 people registered for the long walk today. Here is West. He might be not spotted by that. There's a great front-on tackle. Starting just to get a little tired is West. There's the kick by Lim, and the mark's been taken by Manuel. So before this quarter started, West had 28 disposals, and he needed another 8 to get a career high. And you talked about it all day ad nauseum. How many has he had this quarter?
Still stuck on 28 according to the thing. So sometimes you can go a little bit too early on something.
I followed your comment and put it on the Twitter, and that wasn't a smart move either. Alex Manuel.
The other one, which I'd say a little bit of Q in the rack, Hutchings hasn't done much in this quarter. They may have sort of given him a little bit of time on the pine as well. And Vardy's the other one that Borgogno's done a little bit more in the ruck in this last quarter.
He's been all right, Borgogno, isn't he? Because he's a Swan Districts lad, I think.
East Fremantle he came from. So country boy, played in the state amateur Colts and played at a couple of different amateur clubs and had a bit of time on East Fremantle's list, and I think learned a lot from the likes of John Griffin, and he's added a little bit there today.
You're going to get it out into their forward 50. The ball's going to come back out though. West Coast just starting to break down in patches now. Claremont is starting to own the footy. Tommy Baldwin has been picked up by 10 disposals, wearing number 19. Thomas Baldwin, short to Rogers.
And you may be onto something because Bolton up to 44, 11 marks.
Yeah. He's going to get 50, mate. He just is what he does. Oh, well done on the mark here. Hanson's done a couple of good things. He has a real presence inside 50. Rebellion, he ran out of options. They're going to come out here again. Edwards. Here he is, Bolton. He's aiming for 50. Don't worry about that. He'll be telling everyone there. There's the kick over the top. He'll be there telling Hammer tonight or the few of the other boys. Under pressure. Putting the ball under his arm is Cal England. Runs his full measure. Strides in. Kick on goal. And he's kicked it to the right. So Claremont have been a bit errant late. Claremont are really starting to run on top of the ground. 93 plays 66, but they can't connect on the score sheet with their majors. And we've ticked into time on. Hope you're enjoying the action. A much better performance by the boys in the Waffle Eagles. Daniel Pratt should be incredibly proud, and so should the fans. They've copped a lot of stick for some of their fade-outs this year. Big fly Vardy for the second time. He's owned the airspace today. Gets it to West. Here we go. He's racked up to 29 now. It's not over yet, baby. He goes short. He might get it back here too. Here he is. And now it's Nitschke. He got it. He runs inside 50. How does the kick go? Missed Hug. He kicked 3 at the other end of the ground. His Hug. It's going to come back. It's taken by Hardesty. Taken to Rogers. Oh, he almost ran out of play. Boundary umpires right there. Good tackle, Nitschke. Martinez. Short. And they get it out again to Rogers. He's also getting high in the stats. He must be right up above 30 now.
Yeah, so Rogers is the other one. He's up to 34. Martinez is well on 34 and Bolton up to 45. Looking at some of the team stats, I mean, the Eagles Waffle still lead the inside 50s, 51 to 38.
Yep.
But possessions now have gone to 394 to 280. They've controlled the ball in this last quarter, Claremont.
Bolton outside his defensive 50. Short.
A lot of talk about Bolton as part of the mid-season draft. A guy that can rack up the ball at will.
He was not putting himself in. He chose not to put himself in. I interviewed him on radio, not putting it in. And you know who convinced him to go in? His grandmother, who said, I go in lotto every Thursday and I can't win it if I'm not in it. Put your name in it. And he went and did it. He wasn't expecting to get picked up, and in fact he was training and he didn't even watch it.
You feel like his odds should be far greater than his grandma's winning the lotto, because you just wonder how many times and how many 40 possession, 50 possession games you need to get before you might get that crack. But anyway.
He's a bit old now. He's 29 years of age, I think, and fading. But he's a good fella. There's England. Goes short. They go back again. Not too much on the kick, taken high. Umpire said play on. It's Johnson. Oh, he fell over his own bootstraps. Hanson, oh, he had it and then lost it and then almost scooped it out. It's almost a throw to Hug. Hug then breaks the tackle. Back feeds a hand pass. It comes to Zane True. He gets it to Brayshaw. 55 metres out. He kicks it long to the square. Ogno is there. It's coming to the back of the pack. Here it is again. Mountford out of the congestion. Should have done better, the Eagles, but unfortunately for Ben Johnson, he slipped over.
He's had some good moments, Ben Johnson, and just probably a couple of times where he'd like it back. But again, the beauty of, I guess, of likes of Ben Johnson is more senior footy, playing against the big bodies.
100%.
And it looks like they've flipped him forward in this quarter as well. So seeing something a little bit different. It's predominantly been off half back or the back line for the first half of the year.
Throw in, 23 gone. Vardy, who's taken some very big marks. Bolton, free kick. What's happening here?
Might be going to Eastland.
Oh, yeah, okay. Everyone was looking around, looking for when the players on the ground are standing around looking at each other and don't know that there's a free kick. It's a sure sign that it's mass confusion. Anyway, Anderson. Anderson has it. He's done some good things on debut. That probably wasn't one of them. Hand pass missed its target. Here's the big fella, Vardy. He's done his best work in the air, but he's good around his bootstraps. Hutchings is now back on the ground, which is good. Over the top to Brayshaw. He's had a lot of inside forward 50 entries. How does this one go? It's not great. Hamp is there. In fact, it wasn't Hamp in the end. It was Miller who knocks the ball over the line and out of play. And, well, okay. That's okay. Young Hanson decides to kick the fence.
He's again, he's been one of the ones that's been a little bit... Going back to the Vardy.
Vardy!
Have we got the second one lined up?
Vardy!
There's the second one. Expect that to be on the Waffle Show, Jerry.
He'll be getting full mileage. He'll be putting it on his bloody Instagram feed. He'll be putting it everywhere, and so he should. He's got some pretty good air time and air minutes tonight. Here's Bolton. Is that 50 yet? Is that 50?
47, I believe.
Okay, 47.
Vardy again.
Vardy's gone the fend off. Might have a problem. If you can go the fend off, you've got a problem. Umpire said no. Look at the trainer there, the Claremont trainer, not happy. He's not happy, that Claremont trainer. He was signalling holding the ball. Been a good battle. We've said it a couple of times. Vardy and Eastland. Hutchings was there. Mitchell there. Hands and knees. Kick by Rogers. Kick smothered down. Coming back through the middle there. Anderson. Lim. Swung in a 360 tackle by Johnson. Well done here by Marlin. Gets it back to True. Gets it to Hutchings. Gets it back to Pornich. Pulls it back through the middle. Good kick to Sumich. Sumich marks in the middle of the ground. Looks up. 25 gone. To Hug, who marks it forward to the centre circle. 3 goals all in the same pocket on your left of screen. Rebillard. Again, here's True, closing on 50. Wasn't sure whether it was a pass or a shot. Didn't land in either, and it's coming away with it with the bounce of the ball to Mountford.
I think it was sort of one of those ones where Dee thought Deegan was going to go back, and Deegan pulled forward, and the kick just ended up wafting into no man's land.
If you have a look at the replay, he probably would have had more time. He could have run at the goal. He could have made a good 15 or 20.
It has been one of the parts that they would probably like back. Their conversion and their finishing, the West Coast Eagles, awful team. They've missed some very gettable shots and probably just missed a few opportunities.
Oh, look at that for a throw. And he just, that boundary umpire threw that 15 metres down to the Claremont way. And look at the boundary umpire. He goes, me? Look at him. The field umpire, he got that right. He said, mate, you just need to have a look at this. Can we get a replay of that if you're good in the truck? The replay of that boundary throw-in was next level. He threw that 15 metres to the Claremont end of the ground and then was bemused by the fact is that it was called back.
He's always done it again. It wasn't quite as egregious, but he's done it twice in a row.
You've got to throw to the centre circle. We understand that's what the boundary umpires have to do, and they do a great job, and it's probably a lot more taxing out there, but the original boundary throw-in was, seriously, it was one, he dead set through it, I reckon 15 metres. Here it is here. You assist. Hey, down it goes. That's one of the best kicks of the day. That made more ground than a Ben Johnson kick out from fullback at one stage. Here we go. Anyway, we're underway. Keep up the good work.
I was going to say, it would have been interesting if the umpire had recalled it, because it was almost like a pass to Ollie Eastland in space, and he could have gone and given an inside 50 entry.
A rugby union line-out. Here's Johnson. As you mentioned there, Cam Palmer, that he's certainly getting more of a play in the midfield, which is good. Going to get a Shepherd off the mark. Does well. They kick it long, inside 50. They need a mark. Here! That's a... Oh, gee, I thought Ogno got hands on it first, but no. Getting across in front of him was Miller. Here it is here. Big ball, Ogno over the top. In fact, he did get hands on it. He got clean hands on it first.
Unfortunately, they can't go to the replay, can't throw the challenge flag out. I've liked the game of Miller. He's only his 3rd game today for Claremont. Came from Wembley, 20 years old.
What's not another one?
Another one. So So
no wonder we can't win a game. Everybody topping up all these other teams. Pornich and Nitschke, Claremont.
Maybe a late run if you need those last couple of wins in round 17 and 18, guys.
We'll go get Connor West if Simo doesn't play him in the senior game. Siren sounds just as Claremont was streaming forward, and that is the end of what we think is one of our best performances for the year. Claremont, class prevailed in the end. 14-9-93 defeated the West Coast Eagles 9-12-66. You can go through the goal kickers for us, Cam Palmer.
Yeah, so for the West Coast Eagles waffle team, it was Nitschke and Hug with 3 goals each, and then individuals to Brayshaw with a very clever soccer in the last quarter, Pornich and Connor West, who was outstanding on debut. For Claremont, there were 2 to Anderson, Buller, England, Manuel, Patmore, and singles to Barton, Bolton, Edwards and Hardesty. And if we do look at the disposal count, Bolton, 1 shy of that 50 you were calling, guys. He finished on 49, Rogers 37, Martinez 36, Mitchell 30, Lim 29. Don't have the numbers, but you would have to suggest in that last quarter, it must have been sort of probably, I'm going to guess about 150 to 60 disposal-wise, because Claremont have ended up with 427 disposals to 306 for West Coast. For West Coast, the disposal winners, Connor West ended up leading all comers with 29. Hammer Brayshaw, one of his best games of the year, for 26. Hutchings 24. Joey Deegan was good, 22. Ben Johnson ended up with 20. He did work his way into the game. Zane True tried hard throughout with 19. Hug, 3 goals, 18 touches. Nitschke with 3 goals and 16, and Leonard Marlin had 15 as well.
So Connor West has certainly signalled a lot of headlines today and through the week, of course, being picked up in the mid-season rookie draft. 21 kicks, 8 handballs, 29 disposals, 6 marks, 7 tackles, 8 inside 50s, 4 free kicks and a goal. That is a very, very good performance. Hamish Brayshaw probably close to his best game for the West Coast Eagles as skipper. Hutchings, as you mentioned, 24 was good to watch. And we cannot mention Nathan Vardy, go without mentioning Nathan Vardy. 13 6 marks, 2 high-flying efforts and the 25 hit-outs to go with that as well.
Yeah, I think if you were looking at best for the day, it was certainly West, Brayshaw, Vardy as the 3. The forward line, the pressure of the forward line was probably another feature for a majority of the game. Probably fell away late in the contest, but the likes of Hug and Nitschke, even Ethan Hansen did a few really nice things as well, and Rebellion. So those sort of small forwards really did give something a little bit different to the Eagles waffle team today.
There it is, summary of the day's play. A lot of double goal kickers for, of course, the Claremont Football Club, who class prevailed in the end, but one thing's for sure, the game was never a blowout, and there was some opportunities for both teams to certainly get a bigger score on the board. But in the end, 14-9-93 to 9-12-66. And I'm not sure whether we've got any last quarter highlights to have a look at, or last half highlights, but in the end we can tell you that thanks to Hungry Jacks, we hope you've enjoyed our live feed, our live stream from Claremont Oval. Here they are. Here's the Claremont Football Club. We'll leave you with the highlights here. And thanks for tuning in, and we apologise for the technical display early, but thanks to Cam Palmer, this is Tim Gossage. On behalf of the West Coast Eagles live stream team and the production team, the hard-working production team, it was a win to the Tigers, but hats off to West Coast with a wonderful performance in defeat. This has been the live stream, courtesy of the Eagles and Hungry Jacks.